than to have been the Republican nominee for President of the United States.
President Biden releasing a statement saying Dole was a man to be admired by Americans. Dole was 98. President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin will hold a video call Tuesday as Russian troops mass at the Ukrainian border.
The White House says President Biden will press President Putin over his troop movement, warning there will be consequences if troops move into Ukraine. GOP Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa on Fox News Sunday says she hopes the president is tough, even using Russia's Nord Stream pipeline as leverage.
What we don't want to do is allow President Putin to continue with the pipeline, especially as he is preparing, perhaps, to invade Ukraine.
Germany, which would benefit from the pipeline's output, has urged Congress not to sanction Nord Stream. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Health officials confirm cases of the COVID-19 variant in about 15 states. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says Americans must remain vigilant.
I do think that we are that getting in a lot of immunity right now will be critically important. Masking up right now, we have 80% of our cases, of our counties that are still in high or substantial risk of disease with Delta.
Walensky on ABC's This Week. Several countries have imposed travel bans to help stop the spread. America is listening to Fox News.
Now open on Guam, 511 Tactical Gear Guam, offering superior tactical apparel and duty gear for law enforcement, first responders, tactical operators, and recreational enthusiasts. You'll find Guam's largest selection of 511 pants, shirts, jackets, hats, boots, watches, knives, lights, patches, and gear bags. Shop inventories online at tacticalgearguam.com. Located in Harmon, Route 16 Army Drive between Little Wangs and the Dungeon, right next to Bargain Tactical. 511 Tactical Gear Guam. Always be ready.
What's for breakfast at KFC under $3.95, you ask? What's for breakfast at KFC that's different than the other guys, you ask? KFC's chicken wrap, sausage wrap, the Colonel's chicken congee, chicken fried steak, sausage biscuit and gravy, and biscuit sandwiches made with KFC's original fluffy biscuits. All for under $3.95 and all only at KFC. Plus, with waffles and the Colonel's chicken fried rice, we've got something for everyone.
So visit KFC for breakfast today. It's finger-licking good.
Germany's pro-business Free Democrats have approved a deal to form a new government with two center-left parties, moving Chancellor-designate Olaf Scholz a step closer to taking office as the country's new leader this week. Germany's new government aims to step up efforts against climate change and do more to modernize the country, including improving cell phone and internet networks. A police department in the state of Maine is trying to attract recruits by offering up to $20,000 as a signing bonus. Chief Jason Moffett of the Brewer Police Department talks about the program.
But the way it works in Maine is we have to send our officers to the Maine Criminal Justice Academy, and these untrained officers can be up to a year or more before they can be fully trained. So we just, at this point, we couldn't absorb another untrained officer and decided to offer that bonus to get some attention, which apparently it did.
The bonus is only applicable for officers with 5 or more years' experience. The Bangor Daily News reports the number of cops in Maine's local police departments has fallen nearly 6% since 2015. An effort to make sure that those who serve on behalf of all of us enjoy one of the traditions of the season.
Over 450 Christmas trees from 25 growers in New Hampshire and Vermont have been sent to U.S. military families as part of the National Trees for Troops effort. The trees were donated by growers, regional businesses, schools, and individuals, and will be delivered to military bases in Georgia. 14,500 trees from 55 different locations are being collected and delivered to 77 bases in the U.S. this holiday season overall. This year marks the 16th anniversary of the Trees for Troops program. In that time, over 262,000 trees have been donated to the troops. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
The holidays are here, and you know what that means. Time to gather with family and friends, dress up our homes, and explore Christmas season in paradise. Why not share these moments for a chance to win $100 in cash? Log on to visitguam.com/Instagram today to participate in the Guam Visitors Bureau #Instagram photo and video contest. A winner will be chosen every week, so share your best holiday moments now and win. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
Half a day at 6:06. I'm Mana Silva Tyron with a look at your local news on the point. The island remains under level 4 on the CDC's travel listing, but the Guam Visitors Bureau is hoping that rating will be removed for Guam in light of our recent decline in COVID-19 positive cases. In a meeting last week, the GVB Vice President Jerry Perez reported that CDC would upgrade Guam's travel advisory on December 6. We're still on the list, though, today. Level 4, according to the Centers for Disease Control, means Guam is considered a very high-risk destination for COVID-19, and travelers are advised to avoid all travel here. It also states if you must travel to these destinations, make sure that you're fully vaccinated before you travel. Perez at the GVB board last week reported, though, that the advisory is expected to be lifted today, December 6. As the world responds to the new Omicron variant, the GVB reported over the weekend fears over the new COVID strain has caused fears which have resulted in the cancellation of a group booking for 500 visitors from Korea. Korea, beginning today, will be imposing stricter guidelines which will require all international travelers to quarantine, that is, regardless of their vaccination status. Japan also banned the entry of foreign nationals, including business travelers and foreign students, to help stave off the Omicron variant spread. The U.S. also imposing more stringent testing for international travelers. It means that all inbound international travelers must be tested for COVID-19 within a day of global departure, regardless of the nationality or vaccination status of the traveler. Meanwhile, the Guam Daily Post reported the GVB did confirm at least 6 Korean airlines have firmed up their resumption of their plans to fly back to Guam, including the return of Asiana Airlines on December 23rd. Meanwhile, the CAR score this morning is at 0.7. In the latest JIC report, there was just one new case of COVID-19 confirmed out of 200 people tested on December 4th. Additional results will be reported on later on today. Our total now is listed at 19,248 officially reported cases with 266 deaths. And the vaccination clinics continue this week at the University of Guam, the public health centers, and at the various village mayors' offices. But next week, the National Guard plans to close up their clinic, which has been running out of the UOG field house. The last day for the UOG clinic will be on December 15th. We'll have more news right after this.
Half a day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our emergency rental assistance program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at doa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
There are 13 bills on the agenda for session this morning. Senators called into session today at 9 a.m. It's a week later than originally set after it was postponed due to the Black Friday holiday. Now, one conversation that's expected to be brought back up is the vetoed Bill 11 by Senator Chris Duenas, which would require the legislature to weigh in on the governor's continued extensions of the public health emergency. There have been attempts to override the governor's veto on that bill, and on the point last week, Duenas did say that he would make another go at getting his colleagues to restore balance to the decisions made to extend the emergencies beyond 90 days. The governor had said that this bill would inhibit her ability to respond to public health emergencies. However, Duenas disagrees, saying it only creates a check and balance between the governor and the legislature on the renewal of public health emergencies. Session is scheduled to begin at 9 o'clock this morning. And few details have been released in the death investigation launched this weekend after a man's body was found along the road in Jigo. The discovery took place on Thursday morning. Officers from the Dededo Precinct Command responded to the scene just before 4 a.m. The man, believed to be in his mid-20s, was unconscious and unresponsive. Detectives with GPD's criminal investigation were responding. An autopsy said to be conducted on the unidentified man to confirm how he died. And police were conducting a search yesterday for a girl who passerbys reported seeing wandering in the jungle area near Woostig Road in Jigo. The Post reports today that the girl is estimated to be about 5 years old. However, a search of the area was not able to find any sign of the girl. She was said to be about 5 years old, wearing pink attire, walking alone along the jungle area. Anyone with information or anyone who's missing a child is asked to call the Dededo Police Department. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
Man, did you see the drama on the in the seas over the weekend? The high surf advisory on the western side of the island. Absolutely crazy. I mean, we had spray all over on this side. And if you spent any time in Tumon yesterday, you know that the place was absolutely
It was a typhoon, right?
Well, the storm had gone north. It changed out the weather patterns around here. And so all of the wind was coming in and blowing onto the western side of the island. So if you were in Tumon yesterday, if you wanted to lay on the beach, you had to move about 20 feet worth of seaweed that was out there. And that's what the aroma is on the western side today. It's the smell of seaweed, slowly rotting on the beaches. High surf advisory in effect until 6 o'clock Wednesday morning, affecting north and east facing Reese. It's a high risk of rip currents through 6 o'clock Thursday morning along north and eastern side. Partly cloudy today with isolated showers. Easterly winds up to about 15 miles an hour. Daytime highs today should be about 87 degrees. For tonight, mostly cloudy, isolated showers, and maybe on some thunderstorms. Expected southeast winds 10 miles an hour, and overnight lows should be about 77 degrees. Sunrise this morning not until 6:31. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:53. Hashtag tell the others. What do we have? There's no percentages today, real Joe.
20% chance of rain, 98% chance of love.
98% chance of love. Can you tell we're getting closer to Christmas? People are getting desperate. I need a date for Friday night. I got a company Christmas party, and everybody think I'm an old maid. Please take me with you. 6:12 in the morning, there's news and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for 67 years? 67 years.
Did you know that 1 in 50 employees open a phishing email every day? Introducing Lookout, the leading mobile security solution that fully protects your company from all mobile threats. Get Lookout Mobile Security for free with any Docomo Pacific Business Unlimited mobile plan. Some conditions may apply. Learn more at business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Santa's coming and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 3.99% and up to $50,000. And with the new Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas Loan contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier this year. Equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Gotcha. 613, 614. Portions of the program brought to you by American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the guys over at Nissan. It's time to elevate your ride with a brand new Nissan Rogue Sport. They got the Kicks, the Murano, the Leaf, and the Sentra, and plenty more. Here's the deal. Go and do the test drive, kick the tires, play with the radio, do all that stuff, and then start talking to the sales guy about what kind of deal you want. You've got choices here. There are options. We've got 0% APR for the life of the loan, or the first 3 payments are on Nissan. Your good credit gets you to sign and drive away. No down payment. Terms and conditions apply. Find out what they are at Nissan today.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
have no idea. The closest thing I can come up with, I think Serena was talking about this being like a yellow, a mustard yellow or something like that. I'm thinking baby talkie. What do you think, Real Joe? What do you think? The color of the shirt.
I'm thinking mustard, man.
It's throwing off the camera. The shirt is actually throwing off the camera.
Yeah, it looks lighter on the camera.
Right?
Yeah.
But if I move closer, I don't know.
Oh, it's darker in person, Ray.
It's like a turmeric.
I like it.
It's a turmeric.
It's a turmeric.
Oh, there you go.
Turmeric.
She's
Nice.
right.
Good job. Welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3. The point is, my name is Ray. Thrilled. What?
Is that red rice color?
Oh, here we go.
It's a turkey. Find yours on, and let's get his ruling on what color this shirt is. I mean, it's changing color on the camera. It's throwing off the camera. It's weird. It's one of those things. Anyway, well, welcome, as I said, to the program. Ray here. Real Joe gets the phone. 888-8255 is the telephone number here at the radio station. Monica Silva Tyron back in the studio here. I took a day off yesterday and all rested and recovered and whatever.
I'm back. Here I am.
Good to have you.
Thank
Good
you
to have
for
you.
covering down.
No. Oh God.
You did good.
I hate your job. I hate your job. Okay.
That makes two of us.
Second time in a couple of months here at the radio station. You know, Mata says.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I don't like doing your job.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things, and it's not technically it's
now
not that hard.
Now you feel my pain.
I do. It's not that well. It is kind of that hard because one of the things, we're kind of an independent news source here at the radio. We don't have our own news department and reporters and things like that. So our gig is, we pick up all the news stories.
Steal everybody else's news.
Exactly, and regurgitate it with our own thing, and it's just amazing how bad some of the writing is. Your primary job as we do all of this. Yeah, is to interpret and rewrite all of these stories so that they are easier, I suppose, on the mouth.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the ear.
more conversasational.
In the very least, and I can't do it.
And my go-to is always the Post.
And then
Candid.
Then the worst thing is, Candid's got some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, Candid's got some. You know what I forgot to print out this morning is I think I don't know who, but somebody over at the Republican Party thought it would be a good idea to get into this cat fight between Rory and Joanne Brown. So we might spend some time on that a little bit later on. And I know that Candid has got some pretty interesting views on that. So more on it. But it just the rewriting of the story is number one. Number two is the fact that I can't read a story and not want to personally embellish. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. How do you do it? How do you make it through?
No, I do. I mean, when necessary, I input my own little...
Well, you're clever about it. Anyway, it's good to have you back here. 6:18 in the morning. Ray Gibson Show on 93.3. Did you have a good weekend, Real Joe?
It was awesome, Ray.
What'd you do? What'd you end up doing?
I found some pugwa.
Yes. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And just in time. Just in time. Literally, if you go to my desk, in the bag, there's a gum.
Oh, wow.
There's gum because I couldn't find any. I'd gone through all of the beetle net at the house, all the fresh stuff, all the stuff that was a couple of weeks old and moldy and yuck. But, it's still whatever. And then over the weekend,
Still.
I seriously now, I was moving things around in the laundry, and I found a piece of beetle nut underneath the dryer.
Oh, petrified.
Hard, petrified. Oh, my God. Yeah. But, if you put it in your mouth long enough, it'll eventually soften up so you can chew it. Real beetle nut chewers know this pain. So Real Joe comes over to me, and he throws on my desk a thing with pugwa, and it's the right color good. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Color good on this.
You look like a kid on Christmas, man.
Where'd you find it?
I can't say.
You can't say?
I can't say, but there's more where that came from.
There's more where that...
I got you, man.
Really? I mean, who's your guy, man?
Man.
So you got to know. It's like there's three things that are important in my head right now. Is number one, finding a good tile guy, finding a good cabinet guy, and somebody that can handle the beetle nut requirements.
Yeah, I got my pugwa kuya.
So you were in the boonies, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. 6:19 in the morning. All right, you got the telephone numbers. The meme machine is online and working here this morning. And one of the guys that made the initial forays into the meme machine is none other than James Howard. Would you like to see what James is eating for breakfast?
Nice, of course.
That's James Howard's breakfast here
Wow,
this morning.
stomachache.
What?
Stomach ache.
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Sure got that.
Los huevos rancheros?
Okay, hold on a second. Well,
It's a quesadilla.
it looks like a quesadilla of some kind or another. Let me jump out of the picture here so I can go to the description of what it is that he's putting in his mouth. Breakfast. Okay, it's burritos fused with Shanghai egg roll vinegar dipping sauce. Says 5 minutes fast and yummy. And he's got another picture now. This is an indication of one of the things. So he's already eaten his breakfast and now moved on to dessert. He's moving on to dessert.
Wake and bake. Good morning, everyone.
Do we have a sound effect possible there, Real Joe? Give people there. The closest thing we can get.
Good morning, James Howard, the man with 2 first names.
Yep. That's what Tumon smelled like yesterday.
Yes.
It's a combination of
seaweed?
Yeah, seaweed and weed. was what Tumon smelled like yesterday. Don't ask me. I don't know. Now there's a couple other things. Is in addition to the baby talkie color of the shirt that I'm wearing, you might also see a little bit of additional color on my face, dude. All weekend long, I couldn't help it. I went Saturday, and it's been a long time since I'd gone over to Gun Beach, and so I went over to Gun Beach. It's like a private beach, man. It is like a private. Nobody is there, and even if they were, the trees are so bent over on the beach, you can't see anybody else unless they go in the water to pee.
Secret spots.
It was nice. It was nice. So I went there on Saturday, and I got some grill marks, and I woke up yesterday and I said, not enough grill marks. So I went and got some more. Just absolutely cool. There might be a couple other things. I might jump into parts of the conversation from my weekend before we get too far into the program. In the meantime, 6:21 in the morning, and before we get started with the round table of who's on Facebook and who's on YouTube and things like that, we got to do a shout to one of our brother listeners who is listening, not on YouTube, not on Facebook, but in heaven this morning. I generally referred to him as Billiam. I'd always call the guy now, Bill Cruz was his name, but I always referred to him as Billiam. And today, even though I don't know that he was ever number one.
No.
But today, honorary
but we were his number one.
Yeah.
Yep, every day. And Galen tells us that he would wake up just to listen to us.
6:22. I'm going to get misty as I talk about this here this morning, but this is kind of a family. It's not just the three of us, but it's everybody that's on YouTube, on Facebook, and people come and go for whatever reason. And Bill was always a part of the program, and you'll hear that this was, in his last months, a big part of his day was to be here, see what's going on, and interact with everybody on the Facebook Live. And as the host
and he was sick and struggling for a bit, but we gave him reason to wake up, and we were his connection to the outside. So
really, what
and I've known him since Cathedral and St.
I was going to say, he's your classmate
my buddy,
here.
My other brother, and.
So it's something we take for granted every once in a while, but it really is a privilege to that you let us into your home and into your lives every day. And with Bill's passing, it's a reminder of how important it is that we come here and do what we do every single day. And we thank you. I thank you for the privilege of being a part of your life. Okay, now hit the music. It's a perfect moment there. Yes.
Your name.
Ratings gold.
And they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
That's right. And number one today up in heaven, Bill Cruz. We're thinking about you. Prayers to you and your family here today. We got Rico Blancaflor at number one. Congratulations to you, Colin Clark, J.B. St. and John Paul St. I love it. I love it when their names are side by side like that. J.P. and J.B. Lady D up in Jigo. Valerie S.A. Untalan saying good morning, Guahan. It's Monday. Dude, thanks for the reminder. Really? You ever get that? It's Sunday at 5 o'clock, and you're going, this is so much fun. Why does tomorrow have to be Monday? I got the pretty Sarita Garin online. Mark Cruz doing the wave. Are you home now, Mark? Mark had sent me a graphic, and I think I might be able to put it up on the screen. And this is if anything, guys, this is going to be a predictor of where things are going to be. I don't know if you can see the thing. No, because I don't have it up on the gizmo. Stand by one. Let me get the click here. It is a story from KSNV News. San Francisco is suspending the cannabis tax to help dispensaries compete with drug dealers.
Oh, nice.
Right? Okay, so this is where I've been. We had talked to guys like James Howard, et cetera, is because, I don't know if he's adding business intentions, but he's certainly a smoker. He's probably high right now. But this is what I've been predicting for years, is that we've got in our Cannabis Control Board and the industry and all of this other stuff, the marijuana that is eventually going to be sold over at the dispensaries is probably going to be the most expensive. And it's crazy because you can grow it in dirt. Is going to be some of the most expensive dope ever in the history of Guam. They're not going to be able to compete with the guys that are just growing it. Practically, there's guys growing it and giving it away. We had Theseus. TJ was in the studio a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's giving away seeds to people that want to get started on all of this. Between all of the fees and the costs and the seed to sale and all of this other, all of the regulatory stuff that's going to go into it, marijuana that you buy in the store is going to be outrageously priced because they've got to make up for all of the money that they spend with all of that regulatory nonsense and the taxes. So San Francisco says we're not going to have the guys charge a tax on this anymore, so that we can compete with the dude on the street that is selling marijuana that is just as good, maybe even better than what you're going to find in the dispensaries. Having said that, okay, so I got Mark on the line. Colin Clark is there. Adita Camarillo, Renee Lau. Happy Monday. Happy birthday, Rizel. Oh, Rizel. That's a partner's daughter. Rizel Yu is so. What has she got to be? 21, 22, something like that now. We got Eunice. Gemma Bustamante is there. Zenan Belanger. Some of you will say, Ray, it's pronounced Ballinger. Tomato. You say it the way you want to. I will say it that way. I got Chris Costine saying good morning, Gibsonites. Senator Jesse Lujan is there. I got Vivian Castro Leon. Mike Grace Plus. Tina Phil Med is watching the program. We got the introduction last week from former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez. Apparently, Tina is a princess in the Yappies culture.
Oh, okay.
So it's good to have you here.
Correspondent.
Correct me whenever I'm wrong. Mark Anthony, Gemma saying good morning. Ray, Monoreal Joe, lovely people tuning into The Point. May you all have a nice start of the week. Stay safe and healthy. Oh, baby, I've got other plans. But thank you, though. I got Jolyn Mansfield is there. Ken Augustin, Ed Massey, Ibil Marino, and cousin Mitchell Prashado out there. Vince Borja is watching the program.
Oh, Abiba.
Congratulations,
Vince.
Yeah,
he got married?
Yeah.
He got married.
Again?
I don't know.
I don't know,
how many times they've done it.
Congrats,
There are
bro.
just some great pictures and the beautiful pictures of you and your lovely and stunning family. But I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to get married, because Rose Marie was in the wedding party. Rose and there's a beautiful picture of Rose on.
Is there ever a ugly picture?
No,
Rose? Never,
absolutely
never,
not.
ever.
I see Drew Tenorio is there, and let me see, Keenan McCausland celebrated Duck's birthday up in the upper left-hand corner of the States. Nice EFIT pipe, James Howard. Is that what that is? Wait. Hold on. I think I know the guy that carves those. You can find him on Instagram. Hold on a second. Where's Hold on. There's. Oh, boy. Shall I start over again? Here's the gallery. This is the gallery from James Howard. First, we start off with breakfast, and then they scooch over to there's apparently dessert, and then we have the aftermath here. The smoke alarm is going to go off in James Howard's house here. Hold on, let me get this on screen so everybody can see what I'm giggling at here.
America, man.
America is truly
Good
great.
morning, sunshine.
Oh my God!
Well, you know what that reminds me?
Mhm.
We need to remind people about the Boonie store. It's Christmas time.
Hey,
You're looking for a gift.
That's right. That's right. You got all kinds of stuff there. Look, the chances are very, very good. You probably don't know it, but somebody that's very close to you that you think might be like super straight arrow is probably high all the time.
Yeah,
probably,
they need a bong.
Yeah,
a handcrafted bong.
Bongs, whatever, maybe some of these Eiffelwood things and grinders and all the kit, I suppose, as we call it. I got let me see, Pam Duvall is there. Lady D, Natsuki Kabasawa is on. Harvey Ekna. Wen Rowie is hanging out here this morning. I see Alfred Gloria and Joe Bamba. Mark Cruz says not yet. Apparently not back in town yet. Have you been? Have you been arrested? Did TSA pick you up in Hawaii on the way home? They're saying quarantine, sir.
That guy.
Dude, I feel bad, because I was, like I said, I was down in Tumon at the beaches and watching. There was I should put the thing up on the screen. So I'm down at Gun Beach Saturday, and here comes. There must have been 20 of these Koreans, right? And a couple of hot pants. So I'm sitting there trying not to stare, and they're all running around. They've got these huge fins, swim fins, and I think they went down to Gun Beach because they wanted to go through the pipeline and then down into the ocean, but not in the kind of waters that we had. In fact, I had to kind of warn some of the people down there about a couple of things. This is not the kind of water you want to go deep diving in on the other side of Gun Beach. I know there's mermaids and pirate treasure and sea turtles and all kinds of other stuff to see, but this isn't the kind of weather. So they went around, frolicked in the ocean. The Deeps, I think, was the name of the company, and then also trying to convince one woman in particular to move her stuff off the beach because the tide was coming in and washing everything out to the ocean, but don't go too far over to the trees because there's fire ants there. Unfortunately, we've got a fire ant. I've been advised by a friend of mine to hammer the Department of Agriculture to do something. There's apparently things that you can do with poison and peanut butter and sticks in the ground. Have you heard this?
No, but the fire ant's been getting me and my friends lately too.
Exactly.
Riding our bikes through the trails.
Yeah. And they get you in strange places, don't they?
You can't see them, right?
God.
They're like invisible.
You can.
They're just very, very, very small. But they pack an incredible punch. And unfortunately, there's a lot more places, including Gun Beach, that have got a fire ant infestation. So I'm telling these guys to do this. But I felt so bad because I'm looking at these Koreans realizing they might be getting on an airplane to go back home today and face, a 10-day quarantine in the very least? Tough stuff, the numbers are coming in over the weekend. I don't know if you saw this. 500 or so Koreans have canceled their plans to come to Guam. So it's just us again for the holidays. What can I say? 6:32 in the morning. Who else is playing around? Sandra Rages, who's enjoying apparently a new job over at Pirates Cove.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So tip big, and because that doesn't need to be reported for her income as far as the her political career is concerned.
GC stuff, yeah.
So we got Vince, and there's Dennis, Rico, and Marie. Anna Marie is there. Dan Rasal is online. Dennis Larson, we're talking about marijuana. He's going, it's a plant. Why would you pay for it? Okay, so here's the theory, and I've actually bought into this myself. Is the idea that, we'll make marijuana, people will sell marijuana, and the government of Guam will be able to cover all of our bills based on the taxes. That is, if people decide that they want to go and buy marijuana, as opposed to, as Dennis says, it's a plant. Grow it yourself. Patrick Iriarte, you can always depend on Ray Gibson to gaslight the truth about COVID-19. I wonder if him and Lou Leon Guerrero and his taxpayer thief, Uncle Robert, under the table Underwood, are profiting from this politically manufactured pandemic.
Yeah, Ray.
You are the most amusing person in my life, and I have so many other amusing people. Should we lift the ban on phone calls from Patrick?
No.
Okay. Let me see, Joey. What? No. Let me calls in. Let him on. Yeah. Okay, because I want to challenge the idea. Like, wait a second. Like Lou and I are in cahoots on COVID-19. We could not be further in disagreement. Who else is playing around? Joey Kitsu, Katrina Polino, Buenos and Alfadeta, Jean McDonald, Katharina Polino. Right click.
Right away, sir.
Thank you, sir. Jane Nauta, Frank Perez, Lady D, Steve Radican is on. Joe Jerry, Evelyn Bernardo, Tonduk is watching. Happy belated birthday to you. Or maybe because it's the States, maybe he's doing that. Beautiful hotel that opened in Tucumán. Which one is that? John Infante. Hey, let me see. Carlos Barreto, our favorite producer guy. Carlos, one of these days, bro. One of these days, I'm. You know what I'm missing? Galas. I'm missing galas. First of all, I don't fit any of the clothes that I used to wear before the pandemic, number one, so we're going to have to go and do some shopping. And number two, we're going to have to relearn how to work together at galas, because it was always, I'm on the stage and he's got guys following me around on the camera. I miss those days, bro. What can I say? Joe, and tight to know. What's that? Oh, my God. Oh, Patrick, shorter. He's got this whole thing about Hitler all of a sudden. I don't know. Pam Duvall. Okay, and Michelle Balesta Santos is watching the program. Thanks everybody for being here and being a part of it. You might be wondering what's on the table of contents. It's Monday morning, so the question is, what's not on the table of contents? There is so much crap around here that we can talk about. What is it? Do we have a number here? It's almost $2 billion worth of spending that the governor is going to be able to do with the deal.
What she wants, yeah.
Well, the question out. When are we going to do this? Now, Mark Mendiola, and I'm trying to figure out how this guy's got more juice than me, right, from the Ed Board. So he posts something about the god-awful, butt-ugly chain link fence on Saturday morning. And in the same post, like a half hour later, John Fernandez from the Department of Education shows a video of guys working on the thing.
Nice.
They've apparently, because they're never ever going to take it down. It was just got no imagination in terms of controlling foot traffic around the area. But apparently DPW took some time on Saturday to effect some repairs along certain sections of that.
Sew it up a little bit.
Oh my God, guys, just take it down. That's going to be the thing. That's how we're going to beautify Guam. We're going to repair the butt ugly. You can put new chain link fence. You can straighten up the poles. It will still be a butt ugly, god awful chain link fence down the middle of Marine Corps Drive. 6:36 in the morning. Lots and lots of stuff to get to on the table of contents. Plus whatever it is that you're thinking about. 888-825-5888-TALK. Now with news and headlines. Mana Silvatari. How about what happened?
The CDC is expected to lift Guam out of the level 4 travel rating today. The island's currently at level 4, which means Guam is considered a very high-risk destination for COVID-19. GVB is reporting that the advisory should be lifted today, December 6th. Meanwhile, GVB already confirmed the cancellation of a group booking of about 500 visitors from Korea. This is the Omicron variant is causing some travel scares. Korea, beginning today, will begin requiring all international travelers to quarantine when they arrive there. The CAR score this morning here is at 0.7, and the latest JIC report has just one new COVID case confirmed out of 200 people tested on December 4th. Additional results are pending analysis. And senators scheduled for 9 o'clock session this morning. And Bill 11 will be one that's brought back to the session floor. It's vetoed Bill 11 by Senator Chris Duenas, which would require the legislature to weigh in on any further extension of the public health emergency. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
You think anything will happen with that?
No.
Yeah,
Worth a shot,
it's how do I want to say this? Is it a Hail Mary play, or is it just going to be? We'll throw it up on the agenda and see what happens, but it probably isn't going to stick. They've had 2 weeks to look at this at the legislature and figure out just who gets to hold the
this
end.
thing was introduced in January.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
but it's had a couple of different versions of life over at the legislature. So this would be what, the second attempt at an override?
I believe so. Yeah.
I believe so as well. 6:38 in the morning. There's news and headlines and things like that. Looking at the deal here from the CDC, Mana's right. It's still COVID-19 very high on Guam, level 4 for all of that. Now they said that they were going to change that around on the 6th. But it's the 6th on Guam, but it's still the 5th in the mainland. So maybe it's going to be one of those things where they get around to doing that tomorrow. And while I'm thinking about it, we do have to one other important announcement that we've got to take care of today. It is my big little brother's birthday.
My Portuguese twin. Happy birthday, boy.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Dave Silva is celebrating a birthday today. I think he was celebrating pretty much all weekend long because nobody was able to find the guy. Anyway, 20 away from 7 o'clock in the morning. Happy birthday to you, my big little brother, Dave. It is 20 away from 7 o'clock in the morning. A quick break. We'll find out what's happening in the early morning traffic and et cetera on the other side of these messages. If you're a veteran and have upper extremity and hand problems that's interfering with daily function, have Dr. Jerome Landstrom, board-certified hand surgeon and combat veteran experienced in combat and civilian traumatic injuries, treat your injuries and hand impairments to improve the use of your hands in your activities of daily living. Call 671-646-HAND or visit its website at www.pacifichandsurgery.com.
Hafaday, konnichiwa,
Patois, ciao. Enter for a chance to win the 76 Circle K World Cuisine Giveaway. Be one of 3 lucky winners to win a passport of free food from around the world at over 15 different local restaurants. Just stop by any 76 Circle K, purchase $35 or more in fuel to get an entry form. Drive by today and taste the world with 76 Circle K's World Cuisine Giveaway. Visit 76circlekguam.com for more details. Some conditions apply. Circle K, take it easy.
Portions of the program being brought to you by friends over at Take Care, as in Take Care Health Insurance. These guys got all kinds of stuff going on. Yesterday they posted up, and I wanted to take a look at it. Their workout schedule is on Twitter, so you can take a look at that and find out whether you're going to be doing body combat, or maybe this is the week for yoga or whatever. And that's one of the things they do all the time over at Take Care. Tell you what, they got global partners that will see to your health care, whether you're here or someplace else. It's Our Island, Your Health Plan. Take care.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck, 0 down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com.
It's Monday morning. Cohort A and Cohort B in school today. Everybody, get the kids all cleaned up, wash the mugu out of their eyes, iron their clothes, and get them off to school. Now's a good time to do that too, because there's not a whole lot that is happening on the roadways while I'm thinking about it. Maybe a little bit of afterglow from the reconstruction of the Bud Ugly, god-awful chain link fence down Marine Corps Drive. Otherwise, don't see too much happening up at Anderson Air Force Base. Make your way down Marine Corps Drive into Dedado, light intersection traffic. That's all I'm seeing right now. 8, 10, and 16 looking good. 4 and 10 right now looking good. 10 and 15 and most of Route 4 into the downtown Agutnia area looking sweet. Not a whole lot happening until you get down to Big Navy in Sumai, where things are going up because apparently they got a new guy and he's checking everybody's IDs. 6:42 on the Ray Gibson Show.
Oh, KFC, original and crispy. Happy holidays, folks. Colonel Sanders here. KFC is here to help feed your holiday hunger with our 6 or 12-piece family meal. They both come with your choice of our delicious KFC sides, biscuits, and a personal gift from the Colonel. 2 free glass food containers. Have a safe and happy holiday season from KFC Guam. It's finger licking good.
Go green, go solar, and save big with Nambo Insurance. When you power up your home with solar panels, Nambo Insurance will pay up to $350 toward your power bill. With Nambo, you can enjoy great savings while going green and helping to save Guam's environment. At Nambo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Nambo.com or call 477-9754 for details. Nambo Insurance, proudly serving Guam for over 50 years.
Wait, who called who an ass hat? What? I'm sorry, I don't know. Apparently, I don't know, Patrick said something to Dennis, and Dennis is there. Patrick, you're messing with the wrong guy. I'm just telling you right now, you're messing with the wrong guy. You're going to get into your car, and you'll turn the ignition, and then the bees will all, and you won't be able to open the door or turn on the air conditioner, roll the windows down. There will be a bee infested in your car. I'm just telling you, there's other guys to mess with on the Facebook. Maybe not him is the point. What have we got there? There's other folks that I wanted to do shouts to. Danny Guerrero, Lorenzo Titano, Bill Fritton, Chung Lee, and Matt Galendez on the program here this morning. Marvin Francisco and Joanne Billaby. Alan Riccaggio and Mark Voigtland is checking in here this morning. 6:44. Portions of the program also brought to you by my friends over at Docomo. They want to help you build a customized bundle, the right size internet for your business, and we're talking about in-speed, out-speed, mobile, TV, phone plans, etc. The more services you add, the more you save. It's Docomo Pacific's Business Bundles Plus. Call or visit today. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Real Talk Radio is back.
When?
Welcome to The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
Tattoo Sean is there. I don't know why, but I always get a warm feeling when I see Tattoo Sean. It's like we're doing it right here. She's found this place to go. Sandra Regis, it's echoing my. I'm concerned about Patrick here. You don't mess with Dennis. Mike Gray says this is a family-friendly show. The Manson family. That's the family that Robbie Capreza and Jonka Muffness is hanging around. Margaret Estacchio, et cetera, et cetera. Thanks very much. Hit the share button on whatever it is that you're watching or viewing on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, et cetera. And don't forget to like and follow the show. And if there's a thing that looks like an alarm clock or a bell, click on that, and that way you'll get a notice whenever we're signed on here this morning. On the Facebook, on the YouTube side, let's see if we got anybody hanging out here. James Howard is the moderator on the YouTube side, and will not put up with any crap from Patrick Iriarte on YouTube. So just watch out for that. We got Gemma's hanging out. We got people that are on both of them now. And the reason why is I estimated last week there's two senses of it. You've got Facebook Live, which is kind of like the living room, kind of of the program, and then you've got YouTube, which is more like the outside kitchen. It's where the boys are out there, we're barbecuing, Chessa right off the grill, and things like that. It's a little bit more laid back. That Jared John Paulson Nicholas has found it. Joey Kichitsu has found it as well. Let me see. Morning burn them if you got him. Let's get the week started. Jerome McDonald has found the fun of the outside kitchen, and there's. Well, I can't read that because it's in Russian. It's acrylic language that we've got there. But generally, watching the number, this is also kind of interesting. Is the numbers of people on YouTube Live are beginning to rise to the same level as the numbers on Facebook, which is cool. It's like having I don't know, 2 Starbucks on the same street, if you know what I mean. So 646 items in the table of contents. As I said, there are some things in there, but you know what's kept me captivated is not so much local stuff over the weekend, national stuff. Cuomo got fired.
Canned him.
Yeah, done. Over.
Yeah.
What's that, Mana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, man. Knew it was coming, man. Or actually prayed for it.
Well, okay. So here's this the way it works.
John Lemon is next.
Oh God, we can only hope. So here's the thing. I mean, the guy was the ratings leader for CNN. So and I've been you and I've been in this business long enough. I mean, you got quote talent. And there's certain things that a manager will look the other way on because, well, he's got good ratings, brings in the advertiser dollars. So, yeah, he might, every once, because I've been this guy, he might every once in a while be over the edge. And that might be internal, external, et cetera, et cetera. We're just trying to reel him in every once in a while. We have these come to Jesus meetings. And
it's kind of like me here, Nobody wants my job, so
exactly.
I just get away with whatever.
Thank you very much. It's almost exactly the way you do it. But like I said, it would be like if I got in trouble with the law and you started using your position on the radio to go and try to discredit and find out dirt.
I totally do it.
See, it's disclosure. It's disclosure. That's the important thing. It's not whether something is morally correct or incorrect. It's just that we're going to tell you that that's what we're doing. And apparently Cuomo didn't do that to his bosses over at CNN, and so they fired him. And even in their statement.
And it was a slow fire. It was like, suspend him first, leave everybody in suspense, and then Did you read the statement that came out of CNN? I mean, you want to talk about firing one across the bow of the ship, basically warning him off
like saying we've got a lawyer. We've retained lawyers here to conduct further investigation, and that's basically saying to Cuomo, back off, Chico. We know that you've got some thoughts in your head about wrongful termination or whatever. You want to fight this? You're going to fight CNN and our lawyers. So how about that?
Yeah, but you want to feel like you're going to celebrate something, but if you look at his net worth, he's still got tons of money.
You're going to hire him,
Not
right?
going to hurt him.
Yeah, how did they?
He's got like his net worth is like $12 million, and that's not to include his wife.
How do you get that kind of money in media?
I don't know.
What is that? I'm playing away at this for a zillion years here. I keep waiting. I'll give it to you like this. One of the other reasons why I didn't want to, run for political office because you have to fill out this financial paperwork, and I was, there's a part of me that says I don't know if I want, my financial life to be public.
You just write everything in a red pen, and it's okay.
It's embarrassing. As old as I am, and the unbelievably small amount of money that I managed to save every month versus the incredibly small amount of money that I've managed to put away for my retirement. People ask me, said, when are you gonna quit radio? I said, I can't afford to quit radio because otherwise I'll be poor. I will be one of those guys at Route 16 with a cardboard thing. This is, a face made for radio. Please help.
And it's terrible because no one can read your writing.
This is true. This is true. All right, so 6:50 in the morning. So you get that is an incredible story and worth watching. But items in the table of contents from around here that might get us started is again $2 billion or so. They came out with that in the newspaper the other day. The Guam Daily Post reporting. Where was it? Adelup investment Parahamzo. Worth $1.9 billion. Dude, just go ahead and round it up. $2 billion worth of spend. And there's all kinds of plans now that are beginning to see the light of day on the things that Adelup and the governor's office want to do with this. And they have, by my calculations, 264 days to impress us. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it down. For years, in fact, all of my talk radio career, we've always talked about how there's no money to do anything. We've got this much money coming in, and we got that much money going out, and there's always a deficit, there's always a debt, and the only way that we've ever been able to get anything done around here is to borrow an insane amount of money. Well, we don't need to borrow an insane amount of money right now. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have given us an insane amount of money, and there's more on the way. So you would think that if you were a sitting governor, it didn't have to be Luke, could be anybody, a sitting governor of Guam, and all of a sudden bags of money are falling out of the sky. And everybody's got more than one or two ideas on how to spend that money. This is going to be the problem for the administration. Like I said, 264 days between now and the general election. I'm sorry, the primary election, and that's all the time that Adelup has to impress you with all of the things that they're going to be doing with that money, that insane amount of cash that's falling from the sky right here on Guam. So that becomes the question. Obviously, there's great political advantage to be had, but only a finite amount of time with which to do that. That's why there's a scramble over at the legislature, because everybody over at the legislature is trying to figure out how they can take credit for all of that money and all the spend that's going to be taking place. So what's it going to be? Is Lou going to be able to sign the checks fast enough, and is she going to be able to get the work done fast enough so that she can impress the hell out of you and get another 4 years out of it, and watch the sit on the spend of the rest of the $1.9 billion? That is the thing. Now, of course, everybody's got kind of an idea of where they'd like that money to go. Village streets, obviously. I mean, there's a good spot. Talk to any mayor on Guam; they'll tell you about all the kinds of places that money needs to go. But you know what? Here's the problem with that, is it doesn't create a whole lot of jobs in the government of Guam. That, at the end of the day, will be the test of how good we are at spending this money. It's not how many new miles of roadway we can get, how many more street lights we can get on Guam. It's going to be how many retirees we can take care of, how many new members of the government of Guam family can we create so that there's more people to vote. for a continuation of whatever the regime is going to be. 653 and change. So ponder that. That's why you've got to make, if you've got friends over at Adeloop, these are the times now to drop them a line and let them know where you think that money ought to go, because otherwise it's got to go to jobs. Trust me on that. My buddy Kellis on the line, 655. Buenas, Zenhoffadane.
Buenas. Would they be able to put any of that money on our loans that we have outstanding?
Maybe, but I don't know. I think that's generally going to be for response to COVID-19 and helping out the economy or one thing or another. Why would you want to do that? It seems to me that most of the loans that we've got, to the credit of virtually every administration, it seems to me most of them have been renegotiated and put back out so that we can get the interest rates down, refinanced.
Well, I know, but for me, every time I was going through any type of financial planning or anything like that, they basically said once you have one loan, one bill paid, instead of taking that additional money and go take dinner or something like that, just continue like you have that bill and put that money towards your next bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the snowball method where if you've got $500 and you paid off your car loan, take that $500 and apply it to your credit cards or any other debt, because you're already used to not having that money. So you perpetuate you kill the debt by snowballing it that way. Yeah,
snowballing it that way. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just trying to get us, because eventually Uncle Sam is going to sit there and say, okay, that's it, not a dime more. And then Gov Guam is going to say, wait, I just hired 500 additional employees. I need this extra $20 million a year.
Yes.
Where am I going to get that money? Then it's going to, then we're going to go back to, okay, we need to raise, the money elsewhere. So I would sit there, instead of hiring, 500 Gov Guam employees, but that's the best way to be reelected, I will agree, is take that instead of that, if possible. If not, take that money to roads and lights and all that stuff, and the money that we were going to is already scheduled for roads and lights, drop on the debt.
Right. The governor's office is going to make a big deal. I'll steal a little bit of their thunder, but they're going to be making a big deal about how they've virtually managed to erase the deficit over the course of COVID-19 in the 3+ years that they've been in office. I want to say they inherited a mountain of debt, and they brought it down significantly. I don't know why they did that. I mean, it's fiscally prudent, blah 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 blah. But these, in my mind, are not the times to be fiscally prudent. These are the times where with the economy in the shape that it's in, that you go out and spend as much as you possibly can and keep the economy moving forward. Having said that, though, I don't necessarily disagree with the idea. It just seems to me that many of the debts that we've got outstanding, they have already gone out and refinanced. It's like those loans over at Nissan, right? 0% APR, and somebody says, "Well, I got that so low, I can prepay the loan." I'm like, why would you prepay the loan? Keep that money. So there's the point. I mean, the bigger deal here, in my mind, like I said, is how are they going to negotiate the spend of that money inside the next 264 days in order to impress the hell out of everybody? Somebody on YouTube saying you're starting to see a whole lot of re-election videos and ads on YouTube, no doubt supported by some of this federal spend.
Yeah, so the whole, like I said, the federal money is going to end. It has to end. There's no way that we can keep up, Uncle Sam giving us this $2 billion, which, by the way, I'd like to hear these activists ask the governor to turn away, say, don't take it. We don't need this money from the oppressors of the United States.
I saw a meme. I saw a meme on Facebook or Twitter the other day, yesterday maybe, and it's guy. There's a guy talking about how this is it, man. This is the end of America in Asia, and it's going to start with Guam declaring independence. And I'm saying, what are you, nuts? Are you crazy? That's never going to happen. But we'll always have those guys that are out there that want to go back to the Stone Ages around here.
Yes, but what's interesting about it is, like I said, they will never give up their Toyota, 4x4s, and they, you know what I'm saying? But they're not going to sit there and say, let me not have my food stamps, or let me not have the assistance, and where is my PUA check and all that type of stuff.
Nope.
I didn't see, none of them turned any of that down. None of them said that this is wrong for me to be taking this from the oppressors, etc. So let's get some realness here. But this is going. This gravy train will end.
I suppose it will. So if you ask me, the important thing is to try to figure out what we can do with $1.9 billion that is going to have some kind of a lasting impression here on Guam, as opposed to just throwing it at jobs. Cal, I'll talk to you pretty soon. Closing in on the top of the hour, bro. You have a fantastic day. Always nice to hear from you. Prefer to see, even though I don't have any current electrical problems, it's always nice to see you and your brother. So swing by if you get a chance. We'll have a cup of coffee. 6:59 and change, 20 seconds away from the top of the hour. Fox News Live is coming up. We'll find out what they're wetting the bed over in the U.S. mainland. Is it Omicron? Did you see over the weekend where, oh my God, everybody's freaking out about Omicron. You know how many people have died from the Omicron variant so far? 0, according to the WHO. Can we get off of this dime and move on? Let's find out.
This is a Fox News alert. Tributes for an iconic politician. I'm Joe Chiro. President Biden calling former Kansas Senator and Republican presidential candidate Bob Dole an American statesman like few in our history. Dole died today at the age of 98.
Bob Dole, a senator from Kansas for more than a quarter century and a member of the House before that, has died. He recently announced he'd been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Dole was the Senate Republican leader for nearly 12 years. In 1996, he was the Republican nominee for president, an unsuccessful bid to defeat President Bill Clinton's re-election. He was also President Gerald Ford's running mate in his unsuccessful campaign in 1976. Wounded in combat during World War II, Dole was an advocate for veterans, playing a lead role in the establishment of a World War II memorial in Washington, D.C. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
With the Omicron COVID-19 variant now in about 15 states and spreading, many people are still wondering if masks are effective. Dr. Francis Collins is the director of the National Institutes of Health.
But I think it's more where you're going to be when you travel and what kind of gatherings are going to happen. And here's where the CDC's recommendations, which are still in place for 80% plus of counties, is that if you're indoors, you should be wearing a mask with other people who may or may not be vaccinated. That's the best way to protect yourself.
Dr. Collins on NBC's Meet the Press. The Biden administration recently laying out a framework regarding space policy. Space Force Vice Chief of Operations General David Thompson weighed in on space relations on Fox News Sunday.
There are conversations ongoing. They put forward proposals as well, so do we, but things have not proceeded very far in the recent past.
America is listening to Fox News.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Scott Peterson will appear before a judge this week. He's being resentenced for killing his wife and unborn son. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal has more.
Scott Peterson was sentenced to death after he was convicted more than 16 years ago of killing his pregnant wife Lacey and her unborn son. But the California Supreme Court overturned the sentence, saying the trial judge at the time should not have kept jurors off the panel who were opposed to the death penalty. Ahead of this week's hearing, Peterson was moved off death row in San Quentin to the San Mateo County Jail. Peterson's attorneys have said he should also get a new trial due to juror misconduct, arguing that a female juror lied about experiencing domestic abuse while pregnant before being seated as a juror. A judge set a hearing date on that aspect of this case for February. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
A new survey reports Louisiana's average teacher's salary continues to lag most states in the South. Data from the Southern Regional Education Board shows teachers in the state were paid an average of just over $51,000 during the 2019-20 school year, 12th among 16 states in the region. Retirements and fewer teachers entering the profession have made it hard for school districts to fill classroom openings. A soldier who inspired the miniseries Band of Brothers has died. Fox's Ann Carrick reports.
Edward Shames was a World War II veteran and the last surviving officer of Easy Company, which inspired the HBO miniseries and book Band of Brothers. Colonel Shames reportedly died peacefully Friday at his home in Norfolk, Virginia. He was 99. Shames was involved in some of the most important battles of World War II and was the first member of the 101st Airborne Division to enter the Dachau camp after its liberation. He's survived by his sons Douglas and Stephen, 4 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. Shames was portrayed by British actor Joseph May. Ann Carrick, Fox News.
And I'm Joe Gier, Fox News.
Subway's Eat Fresh Refresh has done it again, serving up yet another new and improved sub, the Cali Fresh Steak, loaded with tender, flavorful marinated steak on top of thick-cut hickory smoked bacon, smashed avocado, and fresh mozzarella. The Cali Fresh Steak is protein-packed to leave you feeling full and satisfied. Cali Fresh Steak is made on our freshly baked hearty multigrain bread layered with fresh veggies of your choice. Subway, eat fresh.
Wow, nice smile. So perfect and all.
Thanks. I owe it all to Dr. Robert Yang and his smile team. They do wonders for a healthy, happy mouth.
Got teeth? Don't wait until they hurt. Schedule your routine checkup and cleaning with Dr. Yang and his smile team. Suite 119 in the East-West Business Center, Upper Tumon. Call 647-8702 or 3.
The best thing that happened to teeth since toothpaste.
Dr. Yang and his smile team.
They make smiles happen.
Here's an important message to federal employees and annuitants from Take Care. It's time to choose your health plan. Open season runs from November 8th through December 13th. Take Care offers an expanded network including GRMC, SDA, Dr. Shea, FHP Health Center, and over 1 million providers off island. Now is a great time to learn more about Take Care's 2022 FEHB offering. Visit takecareasia.com/open season 21 or call 671-647-3526. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
All right. You okay there?
I don't know what happened, man.
You know what it is? It's the picture that's up on the screen right now on YouTube and Facebook.
Merry Christmas.
It's a picture of the counter over at Dennis's house. He says James Howard's amateur, basically.
So am I.
Just kind of a wannabe. Look, if you can't load up like this on a Monday morning, then just give up. You're never going to get anywhere in this game. All right, now shall we try it again? Time for news and headlines. Montecillo Tyron.
13 bills on the agenda for session this morning when senators go in at 9 o'clock. Of the bills, though, is a revisit of vetoed Bill 11 by Senator Chris Duenas. He said last week that he would bring that to the session floor. That bill seeks to require the legislature to weigh in on the governor's continued extension of the public health emergency. There have been attempts to override the measure on the floor. However, senators have not been able to vote in favor of passing that override. The governor did say that she vetoed the bill because it would inhibit her ability to respond to public health emergencies. But the author, Senator Chris Duenas, disagrees, saying it only creates a check and balance between the governor and the legislature on the renewal of a public health emergency beyond 60 days. Session goes back at 9 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, the island remains under level 4 under the CDC's travel advisory. GVB expects, though, that rating will be removed for Guam possibly today or tomorrow stateside time. The level 4 rating means that we are at a high risk for COVID-19, and it advises travelers to avoid travel here altogether, stating if you must travel here or to any destination under the level 4 rating, make sure you are fully vaccinated before you travel. The GVB did report, though, that the advisory is expected to be lifted on December 6th. But as the world responds to the new Omicron variant, GVB is reporting that the fears over the new COVID strain has caused some travelers to cancel their travel plans to Guam. 500 visitors from Korea have canceled their bookings here. Korea, beginning today, will be imposing some strict guidelines of their own and require all international travelers arriving into South Korea to quarantine, regardless of their vaccination status. Japan also banning the entry of foreign nationals, including business travelers and foreign students, to help stave off the spread of the Omicron variant. Now, the U.S. also has imposed some stringent testing for international travelers, and beginning today, all inbound international travelers must be tested for coronavirus within a day of global departure, regardless of their nationality or their vaccination status. Meanwhile, the Guam Daily Post does report that GVB has confirmed that at least 6 Korean airlines have firmed up their resumption of their flights planned for Guam, including Asiana Airlines, which is scheduled to return on December 23rd. And from the JIC report this morning, there was just one new case of COVID-19 confirmed out of 200 specimens taken on December 4th. Additional results are pending. There have been now a total of 19,248 officially reported cases of COVID-19 on Guam. We'll have more news right after this.
Ring in the season with Coca-Cola and Burger King's Holiday Giveaway. Your chance to win one of 4 holiday signature prize packs at participating Burger King restaurants. Each holiday prize pack includes a retro vending fridge, kettle popcorn maker, a mountain smoker, an Arctic speaker cooler, and a camping hammock. Purchase any Whopper combo meal at Burger King or frozen dessert drink and get a chance to win. Check your receipts to get your transaction code and enter online on the Coke Guam website. Promotion ends January 6, 2022. Happy holidays to you from your friends at Burger King.
It's good news for the Guam Power Authority as the rating agency Fitch has released an updated credit report for GPA. GPA maintaining the BBB rating with an outlook of stable. GPA's general manager says, of course, that he's pleased with the investment grade bond rating. John Beneventi saying that this is confirmation of GPA's continuous operational improvements, good financial strength of our reserves, and commitment to strengthen its financial health. And the Ancestral Lands Commission's been working to digitize land documents, but they confirm in the Guam Daily Post that some of their documents were nearly destroyed, some significantly damaged by termites. The GALC sorting through years of documents, saying that some are replaceable, some are not. According to the director, John Birch, in the Post, the ancestral lands has been severely neglected for years, and Birch says that they are slowly trying to digitize everything. And there's more money for village mayors, says the governor, who committed to releasing federal funds to the mayor's council. The governor saying over the weekend that the money will be coming from parts of the congressional COVID-19 relief package meant for smaller governments within states and territories. It was last week that Guam's Congressman Mike Nicholas raised concerns that there was about $50 million earmarked for Guam, in particular for the municipal council. However, that the mayor's council, Adelup, has only been working to deposit about $17 million for them to use. More than $30 million, according to the Post, meant for the county governments will remain with the administration, but the mayor's council director, Angel Sablan, told the Post that they are working with Adelup to determine where that money will be spent and how it will benefit the villages. And the Guam Police Department hosting a presentation this morning in a ceremony that will feature a new police boat. That event will be aired live on the governor's Facebook page at 10 a.m.
Sorry.
I was joking.
Don't think that,
no,
man.
I got the thing right from the governor's office. Like, woo, police boat. Come on, we'll turn that into we'll make that a news story. You remember I told you 264 days between now and the primary election, and there's a new boat. There's going to be a thing for new cars every time somebody here. The new Xerox machine over at Public Health. We're going to bring everybody over here. We're going to send out the press releases and get all that stuff.
You know,
give Logan something to do, right?
Cut the ribbon, man.
In Saipan, a new police boat is a big deal.
It's 206. All right, now I got to do a shout here. I just got this from former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez.
In the sunshine.
And it is a forwarded message from Tony Chargaloff, who is the mayor of Venilahan. And Tony wrote to the governor, he says, one of my men working at the pool found a bag containing a phone, ID cards, and a little over $2,000 in American money and Korean money.
Oh, that's not mine.
It's not yours. We tracked down this person, and they're staying over at the Pacific Islands Club. And I told the front desk that I will be there about 8:30 to return it to the rightful owner, and was wondering if you, that is Carl, would like to be present as the GVB head. The idea here is so that we can continue to demonstrate what a safe and great place Guam is. I heart Guam, right? So somebody found a couple of grand worth of money and phones from a Korean tourist, and that money is going to get back into the hands of the rightful owner before it gets to be 10 o'clock here this morning, before this show is done. We'll spend some time with former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez talking about that in a little bit later on, but I wanted to make sure that that was front and center coming out of the newscast. Again, and we start talking about weather. This is Tumon yesterday afternoon, about 1 in the afternoon. You can see southbound, looking from my perch over by the Hyatt towards the Epau Beach Park area, and you can see just an incredible amount of seaweed that had washed up on the shores as a result of all of this weird weather that we've had in the last couple of days. Absolutely gorgeous. All 3 days of the Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the weekend were absolutely terrific. But if you were doing any time down in Tumon, it was funny watching people try to walk around all of this stuff, especially the folks that do their walking tour in Tumon. I knew a guy that he just went and did his walk up on the road because he didn't want to walk around this nonsense. 7:14 in the morning, high surf advisory in effect until 6 o'clock Wednesday on north and east-facing reefs. A high risk of rip currents out there as well. Smart money is stay out of the water. Pretty to watch. Go ahead and wait a few feet out, but I wouldn't get too far into it after that. Partly cloudy today, isolated showers, winds out of the east 10 to 15 miles an hour. Daytime highs today should be about 87 degrees with a heat index. It'll feel warmer because that's what it does. Mostly cloudy tonight with isolated showers, and it may be on some thunderstorms. Partly sunny and isolated showers in tomorrow's forecast, and through Wednesday, partly cloudy and isolated showers. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Sunrise this morning was at 6:31. Sunset tonight at 5:53. Hashtag tell the others. What's the percentage of rain?
20%.
And what's the percentage of love?
98% rate.
98% chance of love here. It could happen for you today. Go ahead, open your heart. 7:15 in the morning. I know you've been hurt before. You've been hurt before, but come on, you got to get a date for your Christmas party on Friday night. Go ahead, just anybody, be desperate. Just put it. I'm getting messages from people like that. Say, yeah, Ray, I know we haven't talked in the last 2 years, but I got a company Christmas party, and I was wondering if you're available on Friday night. And so. It's like, so I'm like super last resort, and I still got to turn them down. I'm sorry, is this an indoor party? Yeah, can't go. Can't go. Lou says I'm not allowed inside anymore. It's 7:15 in the morning. There's news and weather together. This is The Point.
Top End Pest Control is who you call for all your pest control needs. Got a problem with roaches, ants, spiders, rodents, fleas, ticks, termites? No problem. They do it all. Top End Pest Control is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business and HubZone certified, serving Guam since 2012. Call them today for a quote, 487-5657, or email topendpest@gmail.com. Check them out on Facebook at Top End Pest Control and give them a like. Top End Pest Control for all your pest control needs.
Attention! Lolita Kamet is now with Hoffaday Realty. She'll always be that hardworking and passionate real estate professional who is committed to helping you make a difference in your life and helping you achieve the American dream of home ownership. She also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, military and corporate relocation. So for all your real estate needs, call Lolita Kamet now with Hoffaday Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
Portions of the program brought to you by my friends over at KFC. Did you get some red rice over the weekend? I did. I got some KFC red rice. I'm trying to do a commercial for KFC over here. Stop talking about my love life. So it got to be finished with the beach. I've got raging tan going on, and I thought today's a good day for a two-piece over at KFC. Coleslaw, red rice, mash, biscuit. That's the way to do that. But I still needed the KFC fried chicken sandwich. I love this thing. Got bread that's at the bakery right now. It's either in the oven or it's just coming out of the oven. This stuff is fresh every single day. They've got the quarter pound worth of fried chicken on top of that, and these massive pickles. You're saying, oh, come on, Ray, I've eaten a sandwich from fast food before. I've seen the pickles on those things. No, you haven't. These things they're as thick as cucumbers. I mean, just as round as cucumbers, and a great dill taste on them. Try that for lunch or dinner today at KFC.
Any speaker, anytime. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Try not to use the word asshat on the radio, Mona. Just there's other ways that you can say that.
So explain this to me. Why are there attachment issues?
Oh, it's a vulgar slang. It's a real.
It's an actual thing. Jerry Roberts trying to probe.
No, I'm just asking.
787.
Why? I mean,
not necessarily.
I never understood. You always had the normal. Thing.
The word I'm looking for. He's probing into my relationship status here.
I mean, why at this age are there suddenly attachment?
What do they call it?
Why?
Anxious anxiety. No, anxious attachment. Attachment anxiety.
Life.
Is this what it is?
Yeah. Michael's Howard Hefner of Hugh Hefner of Guam. It's
Howard Hefner. Yeah.
Howard.
Yeah, he was a down and out talk show host, about the brother of you.
It's like Billy Carter. You know what? Jimmy Carter's brother Billy. There's Hugh Hefner and his brother Howard.
Was Billy out here? Did Billy got out here, didn't he?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that.
I thought he did.
Somebody older than the both of us will find Lee Weber. He knows. Bob Klitsky. If Billy Carter was ever on Guam, one of those two guys would know about it. 7:19 in the morning. We'll take a quick look at what happened over the weekend on the markets. There's been a lot of back and forth here. The Omicron, and then they said the Omicron's not really a big deal. So money started pouring back into the markets. But then it was down news on Friday. I forget what it was. Chris Cuomo getting fired, and that set the markets on fire. The S&P 500 lost 38 points, closing at 4,538. Nasdaq off by 296 points. Who's the big losers? I'll tell you in a second. Dow Jones Industrial Average 34,580. They lost 59 points. FTSE is down. The Nikkei banging at 276 in the green. Hang Seng off by 22. Shanghai picks up 33 points, and the DAX closes down by almost 100 points. As I said, Nasdaq big loser on the American markets. And who are the big losers at the bottom five? DocuSign, Trip.com, Adobe Inc., Pinduoduo, and Baidu Corporation. At the top, Marvell Technologies, Walgreens, PepsiCo, Electronic Arts, and T-Mobile. We'll take a look and see what they did right for the Nasdaq. But the bigger deal is the bath that Bitcoin owners took over the last couple of days. Real Joe, the number is
48,766.
48,766. Jerry.
Yeah.
It was the 47s
over the weekend.
Yeah. So anybody got any indication of why that happened? What caused that? Will there be a stimulus that drives it back over 50 grand per Bitcoin?
Yeah, of course there will. As soon as they figure out that there's a couple of people that haven't bought in yet, they'll do it.
So you might be wondering what it is that is causing all of this, and I think I've been able to determine there is a connection with a number of people that work for Kamala Harris and the value of Bitcoin.
Oh.
And the people that are ditching Kamala Harris are in incredible numbers these days. Everybody's looking for a reason to ditch and get out from under her vice presidential administration.
And Cuomo. I mean, Cuomo was just a sacrificial lamb. I mean, CNN had to let somebody go. The last guy that they got in trouble there, they didn't let go.
Who's that?
I forget the guy. He did something on a Zoom call that wasn't good.
The Zoom guy.
He stayed.
Yeah.
He stayed, right? And Cuomo, I mean, all he did was be a bad journalist and help his brother from the inside.
And as Mona was saying earlier, she would do exactly the same thing to protect me. It was try to discredit my accusers as much as possible. Which is about right. As long as you say that's what you're doing. Apparently, that was the deal. Was Cuomo didn't tell anybody that's what he was doing until the lawyers found out.
Such a shame.
But yeah. There's a couple of interesting stories. All right. So now the other numbers I want to share with you this morning. West Texas crude $66 $65.26 is where West Texas is right now. So definitely moving in the right direction. Over the weekend, though, the Democrat Party put out a graph, and I don't have it on me this morning. I'll see if I can dig it out. I saw it on Twitter, and they put this graph together, and up on the y-axis now they put the numbers up so that it would look more dramatic than it actually was. It's a straight line of the price of gasoline, and then all of a sudden this radical, sharp downward trend. And everybody says, see, look what the President Biden has done. But when you look at the actual numbers, what it is indicative of a 2-cent drop in the price of gasoline in the country. But like I said, they manipulated the graph so that it looked like it was a sharper decline, but it was only 2 cents. And of course, the White House making a big deal. Well, the prices are going down, but they need to go down by a lot more, given what the price of oil was just a year ago.
By about $1, right?
A lot more than that.
Really?
Tapas about $1.50. Now Tapas crude trading at $75.60 for a barrel of Tapas.
Okay.
And you might be going, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. $75 for a barrel of Tapas crude. That's the stuff that goes into my gasoline of the cars here on Guam. Problem is, it needs to go down a lot further. This time last year, pre-Biden, $48 and 60 some odd cents for a barrel of oil. That's where we are, relatively speaking. And you might say, well, that was because Trump or whatever the answers are, whatever you feel comfortable with. Yeah, that's what it is. 7:24 in the morning. Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point coming up in just a second. But I got him in the studio. So just how are you? Did you have a good weekend?
I'm just fine.
Yeah, have any adventures over the weekend?
No adventures.
None whatsoever.
No
Kind of a quiet, kind of sedate life that you live.
Life.
This is it. This is the high point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? So we say is Sumanula. Sumanula, the high point of nothing. Here we go. All right, this is it, man. This is like the best 20 minutes of his day. This is it, man. This is the mansion in the slum of Jerry Roberts' life. God, don't you love Mondays?
I tell you.
It's time for the Extra Point, brought to you by Guan. You okay?
I'm okay.
All right. Remind me of a couple of senators that we know.
I'm just trying to gather myself here.
Are we gathered?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I got nothing else to go to. Jerry Roberts in the Extra Point, brought to you by Guahan Insurance Services and our friends at First Hawaiian Bank, where it all starts with yes. Jerry?
Today, it might be a good time to have a little talk with that little voice inside of our heads. We'll talk about what that conversation could be like next on the Extra Point.
When's the last time you looked at your homeowner's insurance?
We buy a homeowner's policy and never give it another thought until something happens. Life brings changes, and our coverage needs can change. The smart thing to do is get the answers and level up our insurance to make sure we're totally protected.
That's the Insurance Extra Point. Get out there and make something good happen today by calling Guahan Insurance Services at 475-1162 or visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center in Tamuning.
Raise your glasses for a toast because First Hawaiian Bank now turns your meals into a reason to celebrate. Every dollar you spend on dining purchases, including fast food, earns you up to 3 times United miles. Simply use your First Hawaiian Bank United credit card and start reaping the most rewarding credit card experience on island. Terms and restrictions apply. Don't have a First Hawaiian Bank credit card? Visit any branch or FHB.com to apply today. With First Hawaiian Bank, it all starts with yes.
So I've been known as someone who likes to live dangerously, so it's the inner voice, regardless of what Gibson has to say. It's the inner voice that we have. So in living dangerously, I'm going to go to the real Joe Cruz and ask him, what's the last thing that inner voice said to you, Joe?
Don't do it.
Okay. Ray, last thing your inner voice said to you.
Oh my! I can't. No. It's a
lot better when it's on, doesn't it?
Whatever it is, it's not G-rated.
It's not G-rated. Mana, the last thing your little voice said to you.
Just do it.
Just do it. Okay, simple stuff. Okay. Glad I did that. It's the inner voice. You know the one, the voice that always seems to be right there every time you make a mistake or forget something or have to clear your throat on the radio or fall short in some way. It's that voice that never seems to give you a break. You should have done better on the extra point. You should have come up with better examples in that section of the training. You should have given your kid a break on the test. He did okay. You shouldn't be eating that. You're so busy you miss the little things in life. And not that I've ever heard that little voice myself, you understand. These are just, examples of what that voice might be saying to me if I ever did hear such a voice. It's the voice that quickly finds fault, but seems to disappear when you do well and deserve praise. Where are you now when things are going well, you might have said at some point in your life. It's the voice that always has an opinion about you and your life and never shuts up. It will always be there. If it was a person in your life, you try to ignore the comments and generally steer clear. However, this is the voice in your head. It's your voice, and you listen, and you believe what it says. You do believe what it says. You run a red light or almost caused an accident. Out of your mouth comes the words, "Wow, what are you thinking? That was dumb." The little voice inside made its way outside and came out through your mouth. Some people say we should simply ignore our little voice. They say, don't pay any attention to it. It'll just go away. Well, we can't ignore it. It doesn't go away. Am I getting a little too personal here? Do I hear that? Do you hear the voice? Are you hearing the voice right now? Well, since it's always throwing rocks at us, or maybe just a little rain in our parade, how do we deal with that inner voice? Can we make a deal with it? Can we counter it? I think we can, but it's going to take some time and effort. If you'd like to change the tune of the voice inside of your head, I'd like you to consider the following. Number one, you have to learn to praise yourself when praise is due. You do something great on the job before the boss gives you recognition. If the boss gives you recognition, and you need to create another inner voice and have that one announced to the existing one, that worked out pretty well. I came through for the company, help people. I'm glad I did. If the boss does praise you, you then add on, the boss praised me for the job well done. I'm walking on air today. Awesome day. The other voice only jumps in when you mess up. So all it can do is to listen to your self-praise. As it listens, it's going to grow to see you differently. It'll be forced to adapt to the new reality that you also do good things, and it's okay to say good things to you when you do. This provides a balance. Okay, I'll accept the criticism when I get things wrong or behave incorrectly, but I'll also get praised when I perform better. It's been proven in the animal and human worlds, if you reward an animal or person for the behavior you want them to exhibit, they'll continue performing at the level you want because they understand they'll be rewarded when they do. We've seen this in dolphins and killer whales and dogs and others in the mammal category. It simply works. We can train our inner voice the same way. We can train it to respond with praise when it's due and find that balance. The key is to be consistent in the training. Praise yourself every time it's warranted. One day, you may be pleasantly surprised when you hear that voice pop up and it says something nice to you. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show, Guahan Insurance Services, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
That's a great extra point. Lots to unpack in that one. Is just treat yourself like the boss would treat you. Praise when you've done something right, and don't beat yourself up too much when you screw things up. Real Joe.
Yes, sir.
Just do it.
Okay.
Just do it. And I've decided that I can. One of the last thoughts that play at the radio station in my head. I wonder if she's married. Is the thing that's in my head right now. 7:31. Jerry Roberts in the extra point. About time right now for us to get through. What is it? Is it news headlines and things like that? All right, we'll do that. Being brought to you by Auntie Lolita Kemet from over at Hoffa a Day Realty for all of your real estate needs. She's working with a crew of real estate professionals in this town, and they want to help you achieve your dreams. 688-6743 is her telephone number. Burger King brings you the 7:30 news and a note from Rudy Rodolfo. So give the gift of taste. A BK gift certificate available in $20 books. You can go and grab those today. And Top End Pest Control, Ken and Karen, are standing by to make your household dreams. Do you have the dream of being able to turn on the lights in the kitchen and not see cockroaches? That's a dream for many people. They can help that dream come true at Top End Pest Control for all of your pest control needs. 487-5657. Off, Amana, what happened?
Well, senators go back into session at 9 o'clock this morning. 13 bills on the agenda so far. One that will be brought back to the session floor is Bill 11 that was vetoed by the governor earlier this year. Senator Chris Duenas, who authored the bill, says that Bill 11 seeks to bring balance to the decision-making when it comes to the island's public health emergency session, again set for 9 o'clock this morning. And the CDC is expected to lift Guam out of the level 4 travel rating today. The island's currently at level 4, which means Guam is considered a very high-risk destination for COVID-19. GVB reports that the advisory is expected to be lifted on December 6th. Meanwhile, GVB looking at the cancellation of about 500 visitors from Korea, this amidst the Omicron virus scare. Korea beginning today will require all international travelers to quarantine when they arrive back to Korea. And the CAR score this morning at 0.7 after just one new case of COVID-19 was confirmed over the weekend out of 200 people who were tested on December 4th. And those are your top stories here on The Point.
This is another one of those where you look at the CAR score and say, this makes no sense to anybody. So the numbers were higher last week, but our CAR score is lower. We got 1, and the CAR zooms up to 0.7.
Right.
What
the CAR score never made sense to me.
No, it doesn't. And there's no practical value at all. It's not like, the people over at the governor's office going, when it gets to 0.4, we'll go ahead and declare ourselves free of COVID-19, except for that darn Omicron virus, that the variant of the COVID-19 that seems to be sweeping. Did you see where we went from like 1 or 2 people, and then all of a sudden, bam, all over the place? And most of the people they've vaccinated, and number 2, nobody's died from it yet. So maybe this is what they were hoping for. Now, earlier I did the weather, and I meant to bring this up. Our friend Ken Brown, who watches the show and listens from California, sent me a note here about the wacky world of weather in Hawaii. Did you hear about this?
No. What's happening?
There's a blizzard warning. There's a blizzard warning in the state of Hawaii. A blizzard warning for it's on. I've got the thing on the screen here. Blizzard warning for the Big Island summits now in effect until 6 o'clock Monday. So there's it's still Sunday in Hawaii now. Blizzard conditions and snow accumulating up in the elevations of the Big Island of Hawaii. And I tell you, have you ever been to the Big Island?
I have.
It's cold there, isn't it?
It is cold.
You can
it's
get
cold
to
in
be
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Yeah, I've been there in cold snaps. Well, yeah. I've been when I was living there for a little bit. It was that time where it was reasonably cold, and I thought, well, I got to be the only white guy, wearing a jacket at a bus stop and long pants in Hawaii. But apparently, it can get cold and snow up in the summits of the Big Island.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And meanwhile, there's a shortage of snow in the mainland.
Crazy.
Yeah.
A crazy weather pattern. 7:35 in the morning. I do recall spending some time at a B&B on the Big Island of Hawaii. And the lady is, walking me around, and it says, okay, well, this is there, and the bathroom's over there, and the kitchen's over there, and whatever. And in the middle of the living room of this B&B in the Big Island of Hawaii was a fireplace.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going, yeah, right? I'm looking at the thing going, wait. This is an island, right? It's an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and there was still a fireplace in a thing. 7:35, and she says, would you like to use it? I said, I'll burn the place down. I don't know anything about how fireplaces works. I either get smoked out or burn the thing down. And James Howard said, what, smoked out? I'm just kidding now. 7:36, we'll be right back.
Over the past 5 years, confidential data and network breaches have doubled for small and large businesses, resulting in huge financial loss. At GTA, our multi-threat security bundle is a cost-effective solution monitored by our team of experts, ready to detect known malware and stop new evolving cyber threats before entering your network.
Protect your business with confidence and call 671-644-1000 or visit gta.net/enterprise. GTA, We start with you.
As we celebrate this holiday season, we reflect on the hardships of the past 2 years and remain grateful for the family and friends who share our journey and lighten our burdens. The team at Security Title is proud of the work we do to support ourselves and our families, to serve and care for our customers, and to give back to our community. May this season of joy and the new year bring happiness, good health, and prosperity to you and yours. Merry Christmas from all of us at Security Title.
Portions of the program being brought to you by my friends over at Mescla. Is that what I'm supposed to be talking about, Mescla? With Chef Peter and a dazzling array of incredible kind of Chamorro fusion food. Yeah, go find out more about all of that. You can find Mescla downtown Agutnia area, the main branches I like to refer to it, and then you can go and there's one over at the Grand Plaza in Tumon as well. So the next time, and in fact there are some people running around here with family and friends coming in from the States, and everybody says, "I want Chamorro plate. Where do you get a good one?" Mescla will make you a great plate of Chamorro food. Keto friendly. If you got friends with that peculiar dietary requirement, you can call them because they have a phone, very modern, 479-2652, 671-479-2652. Make your reservations at Mescla today. All right. Yeah, I'll put the thing up on the screen. I'm just enjoying a picture from Jeff of sunrise over at Pirates Cove here this morning. Beautiful weekend over at the place. A lot of groovy people hanging out. If you follow Jeff on Facebook, you'll be able to see all the incredible people and very, very attractive people that find their way down to his place in Ipan Telefofo. Sunrise over in that section of the island. Look how calm the ocean is. Look how calm that ocean is. And then contrast that with the crazy waves that we've been getting on Epal Beach and down in Tumon. All right, let me get the gizmo up here on the screen, see what things are happening on the roadways. That's last hour. This hour, we're seeing a lot more traffic up in the Day-to-Do area. Ipalpal into Waiseng Song. We've got expect some delays there. Macheche, et cetera, is running fairly busy. We've got all kinds of traffic from Ukadu out to Marine Corps Drive on Route 3, meeting up with southbound traffic. It's running fairly slow through there as well. Not sure if there's any accidents working this morning. If you see something like that, let me know. 8, 10, and 16, a little bit busy. Most of Route 8 is busy. Mark Voitlin in the last hour chimed in. He said, "Ray, just looking around at Route 8, there are a couple of spots there where maybe DPW could put some additional lights." For those of you that are kind of curious and just thinking, it's not slow enough. Maybe there's a way that we can slow down traffic on Route 8 even more. Absolutely
and Harvest
right.
has traffic at night. They have a drive-through light show.
They've got the drive-through lights.
I came up on Harvest
not
last
allowed
night.
to complain. They're doing that for Jesus' birthday. You're not allowed to complain.
Come on, Harvest. You guys like traffic, don't you?
They love that. They love it. And the idea is you go slow through that so you can see everything.
It was 8 o'clock.
It's a festival of lights.
Goodness.
They've only been doing that for the last 20 years here. So maybe you've seen that occurrence before. Just one of those things. It's just never. You know what? From where Mana is, the rule is it just never turn right. Just forget it. Never turn right because you're just going to run into some kind of traffic out there. 20 away from 8 o'clock in the morning. Naval Base Guam, what kind of traffic we got down there? Less than I thought that there was going to be. But it looks like because everybody's stuck up north and hasn't had a chance to get down there yet. 20 away from 8. Ray Gibson Show. Be right back.
Fall in love with your new home this season by shopping Furniture Kathy Style's unbelievable deals. We've brought in new items and restocked on our best sellers to help you get your home ready for the holiday. We offer free design consultation and finance with up to 12 months of zero interest for you to get what you want and what you need for your home today. Follow us on social media, visit our website at FurnitureKathyStyle.com or call us at 300-9590 for more information. If you're not buying from us, you're paying too much.
Did you know that 1 in 50 employees open a phishing email every day? Introducing Lookout, the leading mobile security solution that fully protects your company from all mobile threats. Get Lookout Mobile Security for free with any Docomo Pacific Business Unlimited mobile plan. Some conditions may apply. Learn more at business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Leave me alone. I'm looking at the ad for Furniture Kathy Style. Outdoor furniture on sale. Great savings throughout our showroom. Blah, 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 blah. Get your outdoor area ready for the holidays. I have an outdoor area at my house. I really like the outdoor area at my house, and so right now the key fixture in the outdoor area is a couch that I made from a cast off of the trash container that was out in the front of the house.
The container holder, Ray?
Yeah, the container holder
Nice.
for the trash. I've repurposed that now, and I'm looking at this stuff from Furniture Kathy style, going, that looks a whole lot better than stuff made out of pipes, you know? So maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens. 7:42 in the morning, portions of the program brought to you by the guys over at Wendy's. Hold on a second. They changed their copy, and so I don't want to ad-lib my way through this. Might, though, if I can't get my hands on it. Found it. How does quality for a great value sound? Wendy's Premium Classic or Spicy Chicken Sandwich is just $3. Gives you more money to spend on Christmas shopping. Hi, my name is Ray. A big medium or a small large is what I'm sporting these days. Classic or Spicy Chicken Sandwiches for $3. At Wendy's, we got you.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck, 0 down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com.
All right, 7:43 in the morning. No, I'm pondering, outdoor furniture for my outdoor place over at the house. The only thing is, there are two problems with it. Problem number one is kind of a narrow area for the outdoor part that I like very much over at my place, and then the second part is the neighbors can see everything that goes on in that part of the yard.
Yeah, privacy, Ray.
Privacy is vital.
It looks cozy though. I've seen pics.
It is. It
with the
is
lights
actually.
and all.
You know I've got the lights like they've got in front of Mescla. I've got that going for me, and the other thing is I've got Bose speakers. I got Bose speakers outside. Ray, man and boy, in this business long enough to know what quality sounds like, and so I've got a spot where that couch that I made right there is the sweet spot for the stereo. In the house. So I'll put on like some groovy stuff from the 70s and 80s when they still cared what music sounds like, and just sit there and revel in the stereo sound space. And there might be some young people listening going, stereo, what's that? It's where you sit down someplace and you get the speakers over there, and it sounds like the band is performing in front of you. There is an actual left and an actual right that you can hear and make out. You can see where, if you close your eyes, you can see where the singer is, where the drums are, where the guitars are at. And back in the days, they cared about things like that. Not so much anymore. 7:44 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show until at least 10 o'clock, and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff that's making headlines and things like that around here. Is there any life-changing news that's out there? Is there anything that you're going to go, wow, this is going to be the best Monday in the history of Mondays? I don't know about that. There's some things that are certainly interesting. I was talking last hour about this hour about Ken and Karen over at Top End Pest Control, and you know who could use the services of Top End Pest Control right now?
Hooray.
The Guam Ancestral Lands Commission
can
use the services of them right about now. There's a picture on the front page of today's Guam Daily Post. Termite-eaten files being digitized. And from the sounds of it, these are important documents that they're talking about. Yeah, tasty, right? It looks like these are fairly important documents having to do with ancestral lands and cases of ownership that go back decades. Some are replaceable, some are not, said Executive Director John Birch. Probate records can be retrieved from the courts, but other records like communication records between clients and their attorneys may not be easily recovered. This is going to be this will provide for excuses and lawsuits for the next bunch of decades here, and they're not going to be able to put some of this stuff back together because they put them in boxes, and apparently the boxes that they put them in were not necessarily protected from the varmints as much as you'd expect. Going to be an interesting story. This is no less important than, you remember that they had that fire at the warehouse in Harmon not that long ago, and we got a couple of departments and agencies in the government of Guam that had their documents stored there going back a couple of decades. And we're probably in a situation where we don't know what we've lost down there. 671-888-8255-888-TALK, 746 in the morning. Everything going the way it was supposed to be going, and then the stupid Omicron pops up, and knee-jerk reactions from around the world. And it looks like we got some cancellations in arrivals coming into Guam. Obviously temporary, but it's just one of those things where it looks like it's going to be one of those holidays where it's just going to be us again, huh? Uncle Carl T.C. Gutierrez on the line, former governor of Territory of Guam, tourism czar. Good morning, Uncle Carl. Hey, where'd you go? Are you there? I think I lost him. I think that's him back on. I don't know. There's a weird thing going on. I'm not going to touch it. But anyway, former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez back on line one. I'm sorry. It's us. Operators are standing by. I hear you fine, Uncle Carl. Go ahead.
I can't. I don't know. I'm not used to this car stupid thing. Let me get off my phone here.
No. You sound pretty good. Did Bob Kelly put that system together for you? I'm just playing around here. 7:47 in the morning. Uncle Carl is getting off the Bluetooth, back onto the telephone.
Can you hear me, Ray?
I got you loud and proud, Unc.
Okay, I'm standing in the parking lot. It's easy to get out of that car.
Get out of the car. Hey, good news from the Tony Chargaloff and his team down in Alahan. Apparently found themselves a bag full of money.
Yeah, he messaged me last week. He's on his way now, meeting me at the PIC around 8:20.
Okay.
And we're going to present that bag back to the person. And yeah, it really is a great idea that we have a relationship with the mayors. Tony's one of our favorite mayors. You know that. And so exactly why he's a great mayor. I mean, he's got some good people working with him that can easily understand what it's all about. Than just making it easy and stealing the money.
Absolutely. Found the money. If you missed the setup on the story, apparently somebody down over at the pools left a bag, phone, ID cards, and about $2,000 in American and Korean money. The guys over at the mayor's office found out who it was and are going to put that money and all the belongings back in the hands of the rightful owner this morning. This story could have gone in 20 other different directions, but I just think I'm with you. I think it's great. That the mayor of Inarajan, representing all of the people of the South, are putting together a great face forward for all of our visitors.
Exactly. When times are getting, people are kind of worried about coming to Guam, not only because of the COVID safety, but also, we get bad raps here, and this is really one of the great things that we can put on social media that will really go a long way.
I hope it does. I know that we've got contacts in Korea, and you've got people in the office that might be able to maximize the potential in this particular story. So we'll watch and see if it has an overall good impact on Guam tourism. Omicron, COVID-19 still a problem, and now that there are additional restrictions on inbound traffic and then additional quarantine requirements for returning residents, it's slowing down our process here, isn't it?
It is, and it's such a fluid thing that I don't even want to comment anymore. It might even change tomorrow again. But December 6th is tomorrow in the United States, and hopefully Guam's carved out of that lumping in on the continental United States rating. So we're going to see what the details are on that one, where how much we can go beyond, and when the governor comes back, or I'll speak with the acting governor now, Josh, see what we can do about, taking that bold step forward and let us lead the world on how we want to be able to say, look at Florida. I know they get it, but we've been getting it here, but they've got economic advantage over us there in Florida because of the protocol they put in place.
Absolutely.
So we want to do something hopefully, because I think everybody now has been tested on Guam, and what more can we do?
There's, I've got the amazing and fun facts about COVID-19, and we can, as you say, take a look at the numbers that we have around here, the numbers of people that are vaccinated, the number of people that have been tested, and which eclipses the actual number of people that live on Guam. We've got to be close to a couple 100,000 people that have been tested one way or the other for COVID-19. It is what it is. Now, you've telegraphed this a couple of times, and my impression of Carl Gutierrez is he doesn't generally walk into a room unless he knows what the outcome of that is going to be. You've been telegraphing the idea of spending some time with Josh Tenorio over at the governor's office. Can I surmise that there might be that bold step being taken sometime soon? I mean, you're that good.
Well, Joshua is very bold, but he also knows, where the buck stops. And but he's moving some things here, and we communicate now more readily. And so hopefully he does listen. And believe me, he's gotten some results for us that he's even pushing now for us to be able to get some of the infrastructure money so that we can add to the money that we've got for our long-term vision where we can fix up even EPOW, the Governor Flores Park here. We can refix the infrastructure underground here, not only for drain but for sewage, all of those things, and parking. And he believes in it, and he's going to be pushing with the governor to give us more money and or take some of the infrastructure money that he was going to give to GWA or GPA and move it over for us to be able to wrap into the big vision plan.
I'd certainly like to see that. $1.9 billion worth of spend here, and it's got to get done in the next 264 days. Otherwise, Lulian Guerrero's not going to be able to impress anybody with her construction skills and magic skills. Well, you got somebody like you at the top of things over at the Visitors Bureau, so confident that that's going to be happening. Just a note here, with all of the wind that we've gotten on in the last couple of days, have you been by Tumon recently?
No, I haven't. And
covered.
I was up in Aruno, but I saw the waves.
Yeah.
The waves.
I tell you what, covered with seaweed. Is it like that up at your park?
Yeah. You are our seaweed detector, and we will go out again. Last time we took care of it, but there's a lot of it, So, but we're going to go out again. Keisha Garrido is going to be out there monitoring that with D. Hernandez.
All right.
And we'll do what we did last time at your call.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. It's not just me. It's just all kinds of people yesterday kind of walking around all that seaweed, and it's got an interesting aroma, which is pleasant on the first day, but 2 or 3 days in, not quite as pleasant. And there are still, I will send you a picture of a group of free divers that made their way to Gun Beach over the weekend. Weren't able to go over the reef, but they were able to take advantage of just one of the most beautiful spots on the island.
Yeah, even Aruno had 30-foot waves coming in, and it's changing the landscape of the beach itself.
Yeah,
it's washing sand out and moving it around.
Well, still hoping
what's out there now when the girls come in here from the Destination Development Group.
I'll be waiting for the telephone call. Still waiting, of course, for the big what do they call it? The zip line that goes from the top of Aruno down into the ocean. You working on that?
Yeah.
Get Richard on that right away.
Absolutely. Yeah, we already have some plans on that.
7:54 in the morning. Listen, always fun talking with you, and I'm sorry that we're losing reservations out of Korea, but I know that they're going to be coming back, and maybe they know us as Love Island in Korea, so maybe there's an opportunity to maximize travel to Guam around the Valentine's holiday.
Okay, great, and a great shout out to Mayor of Inalahan, Tony Chargola, and with all of his great crew down there working with him and the people of Inalahan.
Really are terrific folks, and you always know when you're driving in Inalahan because the signs say keep Inalahan clean. 7:55 in the morning. Former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez is on the line. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Hugging a kiss to Auntie Jerry.
Thank you, then.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have a good time. Get pictures of the repatriation of the wallet and the money over at PIC. And we'll put those up on the screen. Good idea. 7:55 already?
Yes.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Movers, shakers, headline makers. That's the deal. Thrilled that he's going to be sending. They just got a couple of guys. Josh Tykenko over at the Visitors Bureau. They're going to give him a rake from Ace Hardware today and have him go and rake from Ipao Beach, Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park, all the way up to the Westin and get rid of all of that seaweed. The place is just junked out. But it's one of those things. What are you going to do? Whose neck do you grab on something like that? And there's nothing. It's just nature. You got to go out there and clean it up. There'd be opportunities for people in the government to go out there, and get their selfies with trash bags and rakes and pitchforks, clean a place up. 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. Governor Carl Gutierrez, talking about And it's the second, third time he's mentioned that, right? We're, going to get together with acting Governor Josh Tenorio. And is it me, or does it sound like, he's that close to talking some sense into people over at Adeloop so that we can turn off the public health emergency and do, as they are suggesting in many other places, Florida among them, that we just live with COVID-19 the same way we live with bad breath and fat people and heart attacks and cancer and all of this other stuff. It's endemic. It's not going away. It changes. It morphs like many other things. We just need to learn to adapt to it. Are people dying from it? Yeah, there's folks dying from it. But there's a whole lot more folks that aren't dying from it, that are trying to live within these guidelines and this construct of whatever they're referring to as the new normal. But it would be interesting if you were to do something like that. Trying to think though. I don't know. Somebody got to. Whenever I hear him say things like that about acting Governor Josh Tenorio, I remember a couple of cases where the then Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez left island, and Madeline Berdallo was the acting governor of Guam, and she'd gone out on a couple of political limbs while he was away. And my recollection was there's a little bit of hell to pay when the boss comes back home, but we'll watch and see if it works out like that. Looking at Fox News Live coming up in a couple of minutes, and maybe updates on what I consider to be one of the most embarrassing for the media stories ever to come out. And you might be wondering what that was. Why are you why, Ray, are you upset? They fired Cuomo. That's not it. That is indicative of a problem that we've got in the media today. But the other one is, did you see where Alec Baldwin? Yeah. Did you see where he comes out and now it almost sounds like he's blaming the victim of that shooting?
He didn't pull the trigger, Ray.
I didn't pull it.
It just went off, man.
The gun went off all by itself.
And why were you standing there in the first place?
What's the matter? What are you doing? Don't you know there's a gun around here? Shouldn't you be behind some kind of a barricade, a brick wall? My God.
But isn't that the rule of thumb? Deny everything.
Admit nothing, deny everything, make counter accusations is the way that works. And if you wanted to see a perfect example of it, just read Joanne Brown's comments to Roy Respicio and the folks over at the port just last week. What people are talking about. In fact, if there are this wrongdoing, then it's those two guys on the board. They're the ones that did it. Alec Baldwin says, "I'm not responsible. It's unscripted. Somebody put a live bullet in a gun, a bullet that wasn't even supposed to be on the property. Someone is responsible, but not me." He said, "I don't know what happened on the set. I don't know how that bullet arrived in that gun. I let go of the hammer of the gun, and the gun goes off. I didn't pull the trigger," says Alec Baldwin. And it was apparently a series of snowballs put out there by his very close, very personal friend, George Stephanopoulos, in this interview. And I tell you what, in one fell swoop manages to discredit both himself, Stephanopoulos, and I think all of the people in the media here who are being, drive-through media in the States, that are now being seen for exactly the culprits that they are, and just trying to figure out how to put lipstick on all the various pigs that we've got out here, and maybe more and more people are starting to see what's going on, see through all of the lies. You want truth? This is where you find it, right here. 93.3 The Point. Standing by, Fox News Live's coming up here in a second. Bob Dole has passed away. That was the lead story last hour. We'll see if this is the lead story this hour. Montesilva Tyrant with all the big Guam stories on the other side of that Fox News. Stand by now. KUSG, I got you.
Tributes from former presidents. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. Former Presidents Trump, Obama, Bush, and Clinton all releasing statements honoring longtime Republican leader Bob Dole. The former Kansas senator died earlier today. Dole also ran for president and accepted the Republican nomination in 1996.
Optimism is in our blood. I know this as few others can. There was once a time when I doubted the future. But I have learned, as many of you have learned, that obstacles can be overcome. And I have unlimited confidence in the wisdom of our people and the future of our country.
Dole, who lost to incumbent Bill Clinton, was 98. A video meeting's coming up Tuesday between President Biden and Russian President Putin as the buildup of Russia's military forces continues along Ukraine's border. Iowa Republican Senator Joni Ernst on Fox News Sunday.
President Biden needs to be very clear and very strong in his message to Vladimir Putin.
Officials say Russia may be planning to invade Ukraine early next year. The smash and grabs in California have hit another type of of business.
Apparently, they're also targeting Bay Area cannabis dispensaries. Police say more than 175 shots have been fired during these cannabis robberies. In Southern California, critics of LA County's justice system, who say it's too soft on crime, are still reeling over the fact that 14 suspects arrested in connection to 11 smash and grab robberies that happened around the Thanksgiving time are already back on the streets. They didn't spend a single day in jail because of LA County's zero bail policy for certain crimes, including burglary.
Fox's Christina Coleman. The average price of regular grade gasoline fell 2 cents over the past 2 weeks to $3.46 a gallon. Industry analyst Trilby Lumberg says the price drop is partly because of a crash in crude oil costs. It's the first decline in 14 weeks. America is listening to Fox News.
Do you or a loved one have loss of use of a hand or hands from an injury, stroke, birth defect, or pain? Then reach out to a specialist in upper extremity and hand surgery care by contacting Dr. Jerome Landstrom, board-certified reconstructive hand surgeon and microsurgeon. 671-646-HAND or visit his website at www.pacifichandsurgery.com.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
A prison inmate attempts to escape in dramatic fashion in central Pennsylvania. Fox's Sue Guzman has the story.
Police say Cumberland County inmate Chantel Shirk was being transported back from Hershey Medical Center to the Cumberland County prison when she broke out of her waist restraint and jumped through the vehicle's safety partition. This was with the vehicle traveling at 50 miles an hour. She then grabbed the steering wheel from the driver, according to police, and struck another guard, trying to grab the guard's firearm. Officers used pepper spray on the inmate, but cops say she wiped some off her face and wiped it on one of the guards. Shirk was then subdued and hit with a slew of new charges, including felony escape, aggravated assault, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. This was the second report of an incarcerated woman trying to escape in the past couple of days. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
A Kentucky congressman says Merry Christmas on social media with a picture of his family holding guns. Fox's Jessica Stone reports critics accused him of ignoring the school shooting in Michigan this past week.
Congressman Thomas Massey is asking Santa for ammo this holiday season. The Kentucky Republican tweeted the request along with a photo of himself and 6 others holding guns. Kentucky Democrat John Yarmouth was quick to condemn the post, while Congressman Adam Kinzinger called the photo evidence of a gun fetish, not support for the Second Amendment. In Washington, Jessica Stone, Fox News.
Massey's Twitter post picked up more than 60,000 likes less than 24 hours after it went up on Saturday morning. The college football playoff is set. Cincinnati will play Alabama in the Cotton Bowl, and Michigan will face Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Fourth-seeded Cincinnati becomes the first team to make college football's Final Four from a non-Power 5 conference. The Bearcats won the American Athletic Conference and head into the postseason as the only unbeaten team in the country. I'm Joe Cheap, Fox News.
Howdy, Chili's is serving y'all some Texas-sized family meal, because everything's bigger in Texas. Enjoy full racks of Chili's world-famous baby back ribs, margarita chicken, savory shrimp, beef fajita, smoked jalapeno sausages, mashed potatoes, and corn on the cob. Man, this meal's bigger than Dale's, but it ain't breaking the bank. Chili's has Texas-sized family meals for just $45 to feed your crew of 3 to 6 folks. For your youngins, just add $5 for a kid's meal. Chili's, more life and bigger meals happen here.
Half a day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our emergency rental assistance program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at doa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, it's easy, and it's secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
Off a day, it's 8:06. I'm Monisova Tyron with a look at your local news on the point. There are 13 bills on the agenda for senators to address when they go back into session at 9 o'clock this morning. But one bill that's set to go up for discussion possibly this week is a vetoed bill, 11 by Senator Chris Duenas, that would require the legislature to weigh in on any extension to a public health emergency by the governor. There have been attempts to override this measure in the past, and on the point last week, Duenas did say that he would make another go at getting his colleagues to restore balance to the decision-making process and get the legislature to chime in when the governor wants to extend an emergency beyond 90 days. The governor had said that this bill would inhibit her ability to respond to a public health emergency. However, the senator disagrees, saying it only creates a check and balance. Session is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, the island does remain under the CDC's level 4 travel rating, meaning that we are a high-risk destination. However, the Guam Visitors Bureau does expect that that rating will be lifted possibly today, December 6, or tomorrow stateside time. The advisory advises travel to avoid travel here altogether. If you must travel to these destinations, it says make sure that you are fully vaccinated. Meanwhile, as the world responds to the new Omicron variant, the GVB is reporting over the weekend that fears over the new COVID strain has caused some travelers to cancel their group bookings for Guam. In fact, 500 visitors have canceled their travel plans for Guam from Korea. South Korea, beginning today, will begin imposing stricter guidelines for travelers. All international travelers will have to quarantine at least for 10 days. This is regardless of their vaccination status. Japan also banned the entry of foreign nationals, and the U.S. has imposed more stringent testing for international travelers. And all inbound international travelers will have to be tested for COVID a day before their global departure, regardless of their nationality and regardless of their vaccination status. And from the JIC report this morning, there's just one new case of COVID-19 out of 200 people who were tested on December 4th. Additional results will be reported on today. Our CAR score this morning is at 0.7. And the vaccination clinics, those continue this week at the University of Guam Public Health and at the various village mayor's offices. But next week, the National Guard will be closing up their clinic that they've been running out of the UOG Field House. The last day for that is on December 15th. We'll have more news right after this.
Go green, go solar, and save big with Nambo Insurance. When you power up your home with solar panels, Nambo Insurance will pay up to $350 toward your power bill. With Nambo, you can enjoy great savings while going green and helping to save Guam's environment. At Nambo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Nambo.com or call 477-9754 for details. Nambo Insurance, proudly serving Guam for over 50 years.
Few details have been released from the police department in a death investigation that was launched last week over a man whose body was found along the road in Jigo. The discovery happened on Thursday morning in the early morning hours. The man, believed to be in his mid-20s, was unconscious and unresponsive at the time he was discovered. He was taken to GMH. An autopsy was expected to be conducted. Again, police have released very little details. Also, a man was found dead and floating in the water of Matapeng Beach in Tumon on Friday morning. The man was brought to shore by paddleboarders and was taken to GMH. Officials haven't released any other information in that case, nor have they said if they were able to identify the man. And police also conducting a search. They did a search yesterday for a girl who passerbys reported seeing wandering in the jungle area of Jigo. The Post reported that the girl was estimated to be about 5 years old and was wearing pink clothing and walking alone along the jungle area. Police conducted a perimeter search. However, they weren't able to locate the girl, So GPD is asking anyone with information to give them a call. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Here's Ray with your weather.
So what did somebody say that maybe is like a ghost?
I don't know.
Maybe it's the Boogaloo. I don't know, because it's there, it's not there. But nobody's reporting any missing kids. So what the heck is that all about? Go to Beyond the Box, the Micronesia Mall, and they've got these little things, like little air tag deals, and you get them and you sew them into your kids' clothes, or you put it on a belt loop or something like that, and then the kids go missing, you'll be able to find them because they've got these locating devices. Now, I will say this: there's a very good chance that I might Christmas myself a Yeti cooler.
A cooler?
Yeah, a Yeti cooler. Right? Because, the trucks, number one, the truck's paid off, so I've got a little extra money. But now I've said that, I've doomed it. Now I've doomed it. You know what happens when you say, hey, man, my car's paid off? Here we go. Yeah, the engine will fall out. That's what generally happens.
What are you going to do with your other coolers? Because once you use the Yeti, you're never going to go back.
I'm never gonna go back. I'll always find turn them into planters or something like that. I'll drill a hole at the bottom and put some marijuana plants in the old coolers. But that's the only reason why I have not yet made the investment into a Yeti cooler. It's not Yeti. Not there, Yeti. But is because I just know that I'm going to turn my back and it will walk away. It will grow legs and walk away. So that's the only reason why I haven't yet.
And then you get that little.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to get one of the air tags or the tiles or whatever, and then stick that into the cooler, and that way I'll be able to find it. I mean,
track your beer.
Yeah, somebody, you get somebody steals your phone. Who cares, right? You just brick it, right? You do the online thing and brick it. But somebody steals a Yeti, man. That's like war. There's call the police. What happened? Somebody stole my $700 Yeti.
That's family.
Is the thing?
$700?
Yes. Probably.
I'm not really exaggerating.
The Fiesta size Yeti. Or they come in like.
I think just compact. I don't know. Just enough to hold a couple of cases. Just enough. I want to get the. Right now, I own one Yeti product, and I think you bought it for me. If you didn't, then Dave. It's the beer cooler, right? Yeah, the koozie for the beer. That's the only Yeti product that I own. But every once in a while, I'll see these things. I don't want like the big one for catching fish and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just thinking, one that'll hold. What is it? How much do I drink here? 2 or 3 cases of beer a day? There's just about that much is what I would be looking for in the Yeti, but I haven't bought one because I'm worried somebody's going to steal it. But if there's a reasonably good chance you've got technology to help you get it back, that might work for you. 8:13 in the morning. Sorry, very very distracted here. There's so much going on. The meme machine is online earlier. Patrick, I didn't say it was time for weather.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I thought we were having this.
No.
Okay.
No, it's okay. We'll weather in a second. By the way, blizzard conditions in the summits of the state of Hawaii. Somebody send me a picture if they're available. Somebody's going to send me a picture of just white. Here's a picture of the blizzard in Hawaii. But anyway, so earlier, Patrick Iriarte and Dennis Larson were having a rather uncivil exchange here. Patrick started it, by the way. And so I said, you know what? You don't. Dennis, for many reasons, is the wrong guy to mess with. Dennis is the B-man here on Guam, one of a couple of B-men that we have here on Guam, and he knows how to do things like this. This is a picture of Patrick. This is your car. So I would. Exactly. 8:14 in the morning, Dennis Larson has found your car and laid down some bee moms in there. And so that's the deal. Now, if that's what the outside looked like, imagine what the inside looks like. He says that's a gangster idea. Let's put bees in somebody's car if you want to make a point, a deal that they can't refuse. 8:14 in the morning. Now let's do weather. It's the least exciting weather music in the world here. High surf advisory in effect until 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. North and east facing reefs, and watch out, there's a high risk of rip currents through 6 o'clock Thursday along north and east facing reefs. West side not doing so great either. Partly cloudy skies and isolated showers in the forecast for today. Easterly winds up to 15 miles an hour. Daytime highs today should be about 87 degrees for tonight. Mostly cloudy, isolated showers, and maybe on some thunderstorms as well. Sunrise this morning was at 6:31. We saw those pictures over at Pirates Cove a little bit earlier, and sunset tonight is going to be at 5:53. Kind of just kind of, we've got sunsets, but they haven't been like really outrageous over the last couple of days. It looks like they want to, right? Sunset last night. You're sitting there going, okay, the sun's going down. I can see it now. It's on the other side. It was going down, and you're waiting for the light show to go off, and it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe tonight is going to be that night. It's 8:15. That's news and weather together. This is The Point.
Santa's come in and things are looking up. Bank Pacific has rolled out Rudolph's favorite My Christmas loan with an annual percentage interest rate as low as 3.99% and up to $50,000. And with the new Bank Pacific contactless Visa debit card, you can have the flexibility of using your money when you want to, where you want to. My Christmas Loan contactless Visa debit card. Let's make Christmas merrier this year. Equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply. Merry Christmas from Bank Pacific.
Did you know that 1 in 50 employees open a phishing email every day? Introducing Lookout, the leading mobile security solution that fully protects your company from all mobile threats. Get Lookout Mobile Security for free with any Docomo Pacific Business Unlimited mobile plan. Some conditions may apply. Learn more at business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Okay, I will. Portions of the program brought to you by APL, American President Lines. Global presence with a local home. It's also brought to you by Subway. Give the perfect gift this holiday season. Subway's holiday gift cards. Free 6-inch sub when you buy $25 gift cards now through the end of the year. Available at participating Subway locations, Guam, and if you're listening, up in Saipan.
The Ray Gibson Show.
Know that guy.
Bringing you closer to the action. This is The Point, Guam's FM News Talk Superstation.
Whatever you've heard about him, it's probably true. Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray Montesilva Tyrant. Excited about the idea of maybe getting out of here on time. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not going to make any promises here. I was looking at a couple of stories that I've got my hands on a little bit earlier today, and one of them has to do with COVID. Well, a lot of stories have to do with COVID-19. Where's the number here? Where is it? 50%, as of the 5th of November, 50% of the world's population is vaccinated. These guys went back for a little bit. And here's some dates to keep in mind when we're talking about where we are today. It was December 8th of 2019. Wow. December 8th. What's today, Mana? December the 6th.
Uh-huh.
December 8th, 2019, the World Health Organization's official date for the onset of the first cases in Wuhan, China, that were later confirmed to be COVID-19 3 years ago. Getting there, huh? 8:18 in the morning, and where are we here on Guam with COVID-19? Mana talking about the CAR score, the Cabrera score at 0.7, and just one new case according to the JIC. Is that right? That's what we got.
Yeah, just win the latest round.
And a story that started bubbling up a little bit yesterday, and I saw the story and I said, great, another excuse to call Chanel from over at the Department of Public Health and Social Services. Good morning, Janella.
Good morning, Ray. How are you doing?
So much better.
That's great.
8:19. I don't want to say it's a stalking thing, but I noticed over the weekend there was a post on what's the name of the store? John B's. And
yes, John B's.
It was a picture of somebody's arm, the forearm, and on the forearm was a prawn that was about the same size as this person's forearm. And every time I see that picture, I think, is that my Chanel's arm?
No, it's probably either my brother-in-law or one of his staff.
Well, your brother-in-law has very dainty arms, kind of like mine. Anyway, so now, as I said, there was a story bubbled up. I want to say yesterday, Mana was talking about it. The National Guard is going to be standing down at the University of Guam.
Yeah, so the last day is December 15th, and then after that, we'll continue to have vaccinations available. Of course, we'll have our village vaccination clinics, which we've advertised, and then we have our community health centers, of course, the northern and the southern regional community health centers. So, I mean, we still have vaccinations available, widely available throughout the villages, north and south, and then, you know, of course, we have our private partners as well, our private clinics.
Yeah.
That'll be available.
So, I mean, will the Guard be continuing to administer the vaccinations, or is that going to go in the hands of public health officials and others?
So for now, it's going to be the public health officials and then private clinics. And then, you know, our FEMA team, actually, their contract is going to be ending sometime in December. But we still have support from the National Guard. In terms of them being vaccinators, I'm not sure what their role is going to be, but them operating the UOG vaccination clinic, that's going to be ending on December 15th. Whether or not that could be extended, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that may be a possibility. But that's a discussion that they need to have.
Well, how busy have they been at the University of Guam? And you know, I mean, I know that there's the surge in vaccinations. Eventually, that number dissipated, and then the booster shots were being recommended by one and all, and so I imagine that was good. And plus, the dosages for the kids all folded into all of this additional activity. Are they still busy at all?
Actually, you know what I've been hearing, with the feedback that I'm getting, is that it's picked up since the announcement that the vaccination clinic was ending on December 15th. And then, you know, with news of the Omicron variant, booster shots being available, and the pediatric vaccine. So what I'm hearing is that it's picked up, but, you know, you may want to get that from Captain Mark Scott, their PAO. So he may have some more information for you on that.
Yeah, but he's not near as much fun to talk to as you. I mean, he's good. He's like, you know, top 5 of the people I like to talk to about COVID-19 and vaccinations. But you know, there's only one Chanel here in the Department of Public Health, and so I appreciate the opportunity when I can to talk to you. 8:22 in the morning. I've got Bob Kelly on the line that wanted to get in on the conversation. Generally has an interesting take on what's happening. Good morning, Bob. You're on with Chanel.
Good morning. Thank you.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning. I visit Texas fairly regularly. The last several months I've been there a couple of times. And I can go to any Rite Aid, CVS, or Walgreens store and get either a shot or a test, and usually no appointments are needed. Kroger's is serving them, H-E-B there, various supermarkets. Why are we not having this out with all of the pharmacists being able to do this, so people don't have to either go to the clinic or go out there? And the same thing on testing. Why can I go get a test with no appointment needed at a drugstore, but we can't do that on Guam?
Well, we do have private partners, and we do have vaccinations available at some of our pharmacies. So like Superdrug, I know is a partner. I'm not sure. I think there are other pharmacies that are partners. Now, in terms
this should be advertised. If people can go to Kmart, Superdrug, Rexall, and get their thing, that really negates the need to make appointments or head out to the university. Go to your local Superdrug, your local Rexall, local Payless or whatever, and get the shots. And I've seen none of that being pushed on Guam. And signs and announcements are everywhere in the States. I just don't think we're pushing our private sector, which I know gets paid to do the work also as part of their funding through the insurances or through the federal government. We should really be using our private partners here throughout the island, which have long hours. I mean, you can go to Kmart at 8 o'clock at night and the pharmacy's open. People can get either a test or a vaccination.
Yeah, you know, we did reach out to the private sector community, the private healthcare community, and we asked them, and we continue to do so, actually. We've reached out to them, asked them if they wanted to be enrolled providers, and so that the partners that we do have now, they're the ones who did respond. They underwent training, and so where you can get them, those are the partners.
Well, who are the private sector pharmacies now that you can go get a test or go get a shot at?
So I know Superdrug is one of them. I think there are about 2 or 3 of them. I can't recall the other 2. There's a list. We do have a list of all the private partners that we have where you can get a vaccine as well as a test. So I know ExpressMed is one of them that you can go get a test from at the mall, both malls. And
okay, well, that's going into a clinic. That's going into a clinic.
Yeah.
I don't know they're
So,
offering it
Bob,
for
your
free.
your points are peculiar to, say, grocery stores or a Kmart or something like
Well, the
that.
grocery stores have pharmacies, so I mean, in fairness, it's not just
Not all grocery stores.
supermarket. If you go to the States, almost all the Krogers have a full pharmacy, as does Payless in a few places here. So I'm just thinking we should be looking at that.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. I think you're right that it should be more widely available, and that's why we try to work with the mayor's council to have it at the village level, because that's where a lot of our community is. But
I think I think that's a good program. But in all honesty, as I'm looking at the convenience of what it is, when I'm visiting there, go down to your local CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Kroger's, whatever, or it's available. You don't even have to think about it. Here, if I were to show up at Rexall, Kmart, or something, and say, hey, I want a COVID test today, would they be able to do that?
So for testing, we do have private partners that we work with, again, as I mentioned. So we do have our private healthcare clinics. So, like, for example, AMC, we have Guam
Okay, and I get that. The clinics do it in the States, too, but what I'm trying to say is they make it convenient at the pharmacies. I don't think you missed my point. You can go to a clinic in the States and get all the same things also, but they're actually making it available at retail locations that have long hours, 6 or 7 days a week.
But there might be a bigger push for that now that the Guard's going to be out of business over at the University of Guam.
Well, that's why I'm mentioning if they're going out of business, if they can get all the now obviously the pharmacies aren't going to do this unless they get reimbursed reasonable pay, just like the clinics do. But if we reach out and get them, I think they do it in the States because it brings the people in the store and they buy things.
there's that possibility, but they got Payless. People are going to go to Payless because they got food in there. 8:27 in the morning. Bob, I appreciate your comments here. Janelle, I'm going to grab either another phone call or just want to finish up a couple of points. Being asked online from Jose, do we have any Omicron data here on Guam? You guys are conducting tests and sending the samples off to the States. Any indication that Omicron has made its way to Guam?
Well, we have sent one set of samples to CDC on November 29th. So that's the latest set that we sent, and hopefully we'll get that sample the results back soon. And but so far, that's the only way to know, is once we get the genome sequencing results back from the CDC. But as of right now, there's really no way to tell. We don't suspect it at this point. The closest we have is from Japan and Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And, the governor's office did send out a statement recently that we are closely monitoring this. And again, our best defense is to avoid getting infected. And the best way to do that is to stick to, the intervention measures, which is, wearing your mask, social distancing, washing your hands, and if you can, get your vaccine, get your booster.
I did the vitamin D thing all weekend long. I was at Gun Beach Gun Beach and down in Tumon yesterday. It was absolutely gorgeous weather. And I tell you what, if you do nothing else, go and get some sunshine because vitamin D is good for you. 8:29 in the morning. Chanel, always a delight talking with you. You got anything else that you wanted to report? Is there anything going to be coming out by way of press releases from Public Health today?
We always do. I mean, there's always something to report, in the JIC, so just look out for that. We'll be making some announcements.
And one last thing, somebody asking about Biden was talking last week about getting test kits into all of the hands of Americans, and we are Americans around here, so I'm kind of curious as to any conversation about making it easier for people to do at-home testing.
Yeah, so that is something that we have been discussing over at Public Health is at-home test kits. I know that we've been preparing for that. It's just a matter of logistically how we're going to have that reported to us. So I believe it is already available here. It's just making it more widely available, and the protocol for testing, making sure that people are aware of how they can report the test results, whether it's negative or positive.
Oh, no, I'm not reporting anything, especially if it's negative. I think I'll just stay home and keep it to myself. 8:30 in the morning. Chanel, you have a fantastic rest of the day. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, Ray.
You
Thank
know I will. Bottom of the hour, 888-8255-888-TALK. Montecillo Tire and headlines coming up before too much longer. In the meantime, just a quick chat with Mayor Jess Allig. Welcome home.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back.
How's your dad?
He's good. He's good. You know, the services are over there for him, so he's great, actually.
All right. Well, see that's a thing, guys. Is there's so many people. I'm hearing now from more and more people. In fact, there were a couple of people I was chatting with online here, and I was talking about going to the beach. Want to come? And they said, I live in Vegas now, Ray. It was pretty much beach everywhere. Starting to see an exodus of Chamorros moving off to the States again, and that's bad news. Good news is it looks like all the conversations that need to get had with the governor's office are working out. Mayors are starting to get their hands on some money for projects in the village.
Oh yeah, when did you hear that?
Hey, wait, hold on. It's in the news. Monty, didn't we just?
It's coming.
It's coming. So I didn't see Angel. Check Angel. I think he's got some money coming out for you. So you're like me. The checks in the mail is not an appropriate answer from the governor's office, is it?
No, not at all. I said someone had asked me, I said, can Mike Nicholas just announce that he's running for governor so we can get the money?
That's the way to do that. But I don't know. We've been trying to get a hold of him for the last couple of weeks. If he's making those plans, he's just a limited amount of time left to spread the word here. It's 264 days between here and the primary election. If he's going to run, he needs to start making the announcement and buying the ads and picking out campaign colors and things like that. But since you brought it up, when do we get to start calling you Lieutenant Governor?
Oh no, Ray Gibson.
What?
No.
I'm on a roll. Come on, it's Monday.
I love my job. No. Honestly, if Mike announced that he was running for governor, we'd probably get the money tomorrow. But and I unfortunately, he did ask me to join that virtual meeting, but it just happened to be a bad day for me. It was a medical appointment day for my dad, but I did listen in. And if everything he's saying is true, then we just need to get the money, and I need to see a breakdown. I would like to see a breakdown because right now we're just hearing from different administration officials as to, okay, Mayor, you're going to get this for heavy equipment, this for roads, this for everything else, this for facilities. Well, okay, so does it add up to 17 million? Does it add up to 32 million? What does it add up to? And when are we getting it? How are we getting it? Because, we still have to buy in the government of Guam, and purchasing in the government of Guam, Mata knows this, you can't just pick it up and you can't go to a construction company and just hire them on the spot.
You can if you're the governor's son-in-law. You can if you're the governor's son-in-law. As we saw in the beginning of COVID-19. It's totally doable.
Oh, my God.
And I'm safe because I didn't mention his name.
Well, and the other thing I said was, okay, so if it's political and it's PT or it's me because I'm Republican, no problem. Don't get PT, but give the 18 villages so that they can all benefit from this.
It's an interesting point that you make there, and I appreciate the fact that we're having a real discussion here about some of the issues. And is it $17 million? Should it be upwards of $30 to $50 million? And the reason why I think you need to push up higher than that is, and you should be the guy that when all of a sudden the press releases come out and saying, hey, we got a new boat for the police department, yay, there needs to be somebody like you saying, well, wait, hold on, for what we're getting from the federal government, we should have 2 boats for the police department. We should have launches on both sides of the island so that if somebody gets into trouble over at Pirates Cove, you don't have to worry about Jeff going out with his jet skis to go rescue you. We can have a launch on the eastern side of the island and help take care of those problems. You had $2 billion worth of problem solving coming from the federal government, and you're telling me the best idea that they could come up with was what was it? The training for guys in the mayor's offices. We've got more hardcore issues that need work.
And if they're counting the different the other projects like the street lights and the road repair, hey, no problem.
But no. But that shouldn't come out of the mayor's money. That's street lights. That's GPA, and the roads. That's DPW. That's not the mayor's money.
But if it is, But if in fact it is, then make sure that all 19 villages get it, whether you're Republican or not, whether you supported them or not, just because the pandemic affected everyone, not just the Democrats. I'm sorry, I just have to say it like that because that's what it's getting down to. I mean, that's really what it is at this point. It's like, I don't know what else to say. I've tried to be nice for so long, and, you know, it's going to be a year since I've been president, and I've heard the same thing about, you know, it's coming. Well, you know what? Hey, I don't know when it's coming, but, you know, it's going to be January in a few weeks.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing. So I don't know what else to believe.
Well,
honestly,
as I said, we've got $2 billion worth of problem solving that can get done around here, and the guys that are in the trenches and know what needs to be done in the villages are clamoring now for some of access to those dollars. And we're sitting around over at Adeloop trying to determine what the definition of municipalities. And what was it? What was the other word that they used to describe you guys? Unattached, whatever.
NEUs, non-entitlement unit.
Yeah. Whatever that means, but
whatever it means, just give it to us. I mean, if you know, and it's like, okay, so the congressman's second, the virtual the conference that he had last week. So, if in fact that we don't need guidance from Treasury, because that's what it is, we're always waiting on the guidance.
Whatever.
If we don't need that, then okay, so then it's just Adeloop that needs to respond, and it's just Adeloop that needs to communicate that money to the mayor's council, in the end. Right, and if that's, like I said, if that's what it is, then okay, we'll hold them to it.
Well, and I appreciate, like I said, appreciate the frank discussion that we're having here this morning, Jess. I'm glad your old man's okay, and we'll talk again soon. You and me need to have a couple of beers together. All right.
For sure.
All right, bro.
Thanks, Ray.
Talk to you 888-8255 888-TALK. Montecillo Tyrant with headlines. The other Governor Leon Guerrero, Ken LG, standing by. We'll be right back.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile Team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
Oh, KFC, original and crispy. Happy holidays, folks. Colonel Sanders here. KFC is here to help feed your holiday hunger with our 6 or 12-piece family meal. They both come with your choice of our delicious KFC sides, biscuits, and a personal gift from the Colonel. 2 free glass food containers. Have a safe and happy holiday season from KFC Guam. It's finger-licking good.
Guam Auto Spot has the best selection in Buick, GMC, Mitsubishi, and used cars like the 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage starting at $127 per paycheck. 0 down. Call 671-478-AUTO to take a test drive or get pre-approved online at GuamAutospot.com.
8:38 in the morning, and I think the most important ground that we've got to cover, we can cover here in just a second. Earlier, talking about Yeti coolers. It's Christmas is coming up, ladies, wives, girlfriends, daughters, and if you're wondering what that special man wants in his life, he might not say it. He might not say it out loud. But if it's big, if it's worth more than a couple $100 and it has the words Yeti on it, you will want that. My very close, very dear personal friend and the only millionaire that I really know very well, Jim, sent me a picture of the Yeti cooler that he was able to get directly from the Yeti people.
With the wheels.
It has wheels on it.
Wow.
It has wheels on it. Now, as a beach-going guy, I will tell you that it's nice when you got the wheels up until you hit sand. Up until you hit sand, and I watched I watched the guy over the weekend. It was Gun Beach, and he's got one of these little trolley things and wagon, and he's got these wheels. And as soon as he hit the sand over at Gun Beach,
oh yeah,
I got to carry it. You got to carry the thing out.
Major sand.
Yeah, and it was so funny because I could tell that they wanted to go all the way towards where the gun is over at Gun Beach, and the guy just kind of, no, this is good. Here's good. We're about 20 feet into the boonies.
Right into that sand.
So there's the Yeti cooler that he has, and according to him, this one here, $3.99.
Oh, okay.
$3.99. Now I don't know what size, what size this is. How many quarts or whatever it has on the inside of it. Tundra sliding feet. You can get Yeti ice that goes in there.
Yeti ice?
Yeah, it's refreezable things. The refreezable kind. Okay, this is $29. Now, you can go to Benson and buy exactly the same thing for about $5. I've got several of them that keep the drinks cold and fresh on the way in. But at any rate, so yeah, $3.99 for that. Apparently, according to my friend Jim, not only will they will deliver to Guam.
Oh, wow.
As in, you don't have to buy it from Amazon and have somebody ship it. Yeti will deliver it to Guam. So that, and then some place to put, the little iPhone, the Apple tag thing, or the tile, and you ought to be good to go. And that way, when somebody steals it,
it's a Zeddy.
ZMB. So that's it. Now you were able to find some prices over at NBG, right?
Yeah.
The commissary, the exchange.
No, the exchange.
The exchange. So what kind of prices do we have here?
There's did I say 65 quart? It's $250.
I have no idea.
And then they have a 75 quart, which is about $350.
So the $350.
Yeah. So it goes up.
Real Joe, how many rounds in 75 quarts?
Yeah, a lot, Ray.
A lot.
I think that's a Fiesta size.
Is it Fiesta size? Is the back of the truck
It's still a
size?
lot for a cooler, though, if you ask me.
Because
you could just take a regular igloo and write Yeti.
Yeti. I know a guy that did that. I know it's one of my favorite people because I love his sense of humor. He was able to afford a regular Coleman cooler, one of those specials that you get over. It costs you less, and then stenciled in the word Yeti on the thing. And as far as everybody is concerned, I mean, they will hold just as much. I mean, really, think about it. And I'm not giving Yeti a hard time.
You don't want to leave your beer in your cooler. You want to drink it.
Exactly. So the question is, why are they as expensive as they are? And some people are going to say because it will keep the ice longer than, say, a Coleman or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We're all going home later, aren't we? It's not like are we camping and we got to keep the ice cold for like 4 days at a time?
Maybe it's good for like long trips on a boat.
Yeah, long camping trips
where you need to have it.
We'll check with the boys here. I mean, because I know guys, they got that big pool of money and they went out and bought Yetis. And so the question is, outside of the name brand, is there really any distinguishable difference between? I mean, is your beer
Yeti,
as cold? Does it stay cold longer?
The Yeti,
it does,
the Yeti koozie. Has it proven itself to you? Because I mean, I drink my beer faster than it can keep it warm.
Super insulated, man.
So you can't really say it keeps my beer cold because you drink it so fast.
I got one of these little cooler things from Pirates Cove.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: the reason why you get these coolers is not so that you can say, "Hey, look at me, I've got my Yeti cooler." The reason is because you want something between your hands, which are warm, and the beer that is cold. Right. So that's the only reason why it keeps it any colder than that. It's not like you put it down.
Getting warm from your hand, you're drinking it too slow.
You're drinking way too slow. Welcome to Guam. 8:43 in the morning. All right, I think we solved that problem. They're available. Yeti will ship directly to your condo, as they did in my millionaire buddy Jim's place. It's 8:43 in the morning. Montecillo Tyrant with that last big look at news and headlines. Kenley and Guerrero's going to chime in on Yetis and more on the way.
The CDC is expected today to lift us out of that level 4 travel rating. We've been in level 4 for months now, which means that Guam's considered a very high risk. GVB, meanwhile, confirmed the cancellation of a group booking from South Korea. About 500 visitors canceled their travel to Guam. Korea, beginning today, will begin requiring international travelers to quarantine for at least 10 days when they get there. And the CAR scores at 7 after the JIC reported just one COVID case out of 200 people who were tested. More results pending analysis and will be reported today. And senators go into session at 9 o'clock this morning. They've got 13 bills on the agenda, but Senator Chris Dueñas says he does intend to bring up his bill, vetoed Bill 11, which was vetoed. It's a measure that would require the legislature to chime in when the governor wants to extend a public health emergency. Session again set for 9 o'clock this morning. And those are your headlines right here on The Point.
So they'll get started about 11?
Yeah.
Is that what we're shooting for here? All right, more on that in just a little bit. 8:44 in the morning. That's enough news for all of us here on the program today. Ray Gibson Show continues probably on the other side of these.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that upcoming Christmas vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,600 by calling Family Finance at their new Hagåtña location, the old Nanbo Insurance Building at 475-4545, Upper Tumon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance serving the people of Guam since 1959.
Top End Pest Control is who you call for all your pest control needs. Got a problem with roaches, ants, spiders, rodents, fleas, ticks, termites? No problem. They do it all. Top End Pest Control is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business and HubZone certified. Serving Guam since 2012. Call them today for a quote, 487-5657, or email topendpest@gmail.com. Check them out on Facebook at Top End Pest Control and give them a like. Top End Pest Control for all your pest control needs.
8:45 in the morning, and so yeah, my millionaire buddy's got one of those the Yetis with the wheels. You know what he also has? Not one, but two flip-top 18s.
Oh, wow.
You know what those are, right?
No, I don't.
It's it's like the one like a bag.
Okay, yeah.
Not like a suitcase, but I think it's more like a suitcase. It's got a big zipper top on the
those
thing.
are cool, too.
And I think they're called flip-top 18s because that's how many beers they hold.
Okay.
Sorry, beverages. Maybe beverages that they've got on the inside. And so he's talking here about, he says he wants to loan me one to see if I like it. And the great thing about the flip-top 18, I got another buddy that has. Great thing about the flip-top 18 is it's got a flat top on the thing, so you can rest your beverage or your boombox or whatever on the top of this. But I will say this, like I said, buddy of mine's got one of these and a hot chick, but the zipper went south on him, so he he can only open it about 3 inches worth, and he's got to put the ice cubes in individually and all the drinks in individual. See, I don't know about that. 8:46 in the morning, more of the Ray Gibson Show. What am I supposed to take care of now? Go eat over at Wendy's, and here's the deal: quality and a great value. Sounds great, doesn't it? How about this? Wendy's premium classic or spicy chicken sandwiches are just $3. Gives you more money to spend on Christmas shopping or buy your own Yeti. And he agrees with me, my buddy agrees with me that Yeti Ice is a total ripoff. Just go get the whatever they sell them at Payless and over at Benson. Classic or spicy chicken sandwiches, just $3 today at Wendy's. We got you. All right, I know. I said Kenley and Guerrero's coming up in a second, but I got a guy that's harder to get a hold of, so I'm going to go to him first, Ken. Hope you don't mind. Just give me a couple more minutes. I wanted to spend some time with Charlie Hermosa. He's with APL, American President Lines, global presence with a local home. Also, my transportation guru here when it comes to getting goods and supplies out of places like China and the west coast of the United States. And so I'm kind of curious. We don't hear a lot of it these days. I think the big stories are Alec Baldwin and Cuomo losing their jobs. But there is still a little bit of a transportation issue in the United States. So give me a little bit of a sit rep, if you don't mind, Charlie. What you're hearing about shipping on the west coast of California, and then more inland transportation issues. What's going on?
No, absolutely. And good morning, Ray.
Hey.
And glad to be back on.
Terra Firma doing a lot of flying. He was actually flying over Nova Scotia last week. I thought that was fantastic. I got people in Nova Scotia.
Oh no, I mean, you could actually. I mean, the show was coming very clear through Facebook. It was amazing. It was actually great.
It's we've sunk a lot of money into technology, so I'm very, very happy to get that report from an off island, an islander listening off island. I appreciate that, Charlie. So what's going on? I mean, you were flying by airplane and maybe coming over the west coast of the United States. Did you see 60 or 100 ships standing offshore?
So while I was there, actually I flew to the East Coast. So coming into, I came in through New York, so I was able to see the port there, and it looked like they had, not too many ships at anchor, but I mean things looked like there was flow, and it kind of ties into what's going on the West Coast, because there's two things that have been happening. One is that a lot of the shippers have gotten a little bit smarter, and they're actually putting it on ships that are going to the East Coast, so a little longer transit route, but they're not going through the West Coast. That's number one, So they're using the ports of Savannah, they're using the ports of Charleston, they're using the ports of New York as their place of origin. I mean, to get the goods there. So the West Coast right now is still they're still carrying a little bit of a few ships waiting to come in. I think when I flew back, it was closer to 60. It was down from, they were reaching 80, 81 ships at anchor. It was down to about 60. But one of the things that we did see from a positive perspective was the rail had a good flow. So we saw a lot of cargo really moving out of the ports of LA and Long Beach. We saw the congestion go down in Seattle and Oakland as well. So a lot of good positive things that came out. Seeing the flow of the inland network come through. Now, as far as the trucking side, that's still an ongoing issue. And one of the things that we from a company perspective, our parent company, we took the bold step to say, we actually gave an incentive to the truckers that if or to the shippers, if they pulled out their containers within 8 days, they would get a sort of $100 credit for the container. If you took it out at night, which is what we're trying to push, obviously because there was not enough traffic and the gates were wide open at night, so we're trying to push more of a night service. So we were giving customers $200 a credit if they pulled it out at night. So you multiply by those number of containers coming out. We were working closely with the Biden administration as well. They actually recognized us in President Biden's speech as far as supply chain issues. And so that was good to hear that we were at least recognized for taking the initiative on the West Coast. So we'll see how that program works out. But we're thinking of everything. We're thinking of everything.
I thought it was an interesting ploy to try and further incentivize the hustle for the guys to go in there and put a container on the chassis and then get it out of the port, because that became a problem as they were bringing in more and more actively unloading of the ships. That was now all of a sudden a 24-hour day operation, but we weren't moving the containers off the yards fast enough. So I'm glad to see that there was a little bit of a push on one side to get that going, and then further inland for all of the goods and services. Now somebody was telling me about a reverse version of this, and it's a part of a conversation that you and I've had before with still a massive number of containers that are either on the ship, on the yards, or on chassis leaving those port areas. There's not a whole lot of empties that are heading back to China.
Correct. So we're going back to that vicious cycle. Obviously getting closer to the lunar year. We're looking and seeing a lot of the factories in China are not shutting down. They're not taking a break. So, we've seen an uptick in bookings as well. But I guess this year, kind of understanding what happened in 2020 towards the end of the year, we took another initiative as well to already start planning for additional volumes with the purchase and the lease of additional containers out of Asia. So we, from a company perspective, and there's many companies doing that as well. They've taken the initiative to go ahead and already start putting in the incremental containers, whether they're leased or purchased, out of Asia coming back. So again, we're pushing for those containers to get off the West Coast, out of the terminals. The issue there is max. They're pretty much reaching max capacity from a warehousing perspective on the West Coast as well. So that's the other issue. We're working with some of the larger firms, larger companies.
Well, not supposed to be warehousing. Everything's supposed to be just in time, but we forgot how to do that in the last 2 years.
No.
So everything is you've actually got to have some place to put the merchandise once you take it off the ships. And as you said, everything is the manufacturing is still taking place in China. So there are probably going to be some shortages of warehouse space in China until those empty containers come over so that they can get filled. Or as what I'm hoping will happen is that there will be, it's like watching a cat trying to stop on a freshly waxed floor, as everybody will go into the business of making some new aluminum containers, and then there will be a glut on the market, and there will be too many of them.
Right. No, absolutely. And so that's, seeing the crystal ball, right? I mean, you almost have to start thinking about that, right? Because at some point that's going to happen. Yeah. So, what are we going to do with the overcapacity of containers? But we'll figure something out. And I don't, we don't see, we see this like going through the third, fourth quarter still of next year, right? I think we've heard reports, second quarter it'll start getting better, but I think that we just need to be able to catch up, and understanding where that period is going to be is really where we kind of see the uptick of this thing really turning around. But I see this happening through the third or fourth quarter of next year. So,
8:55. Talking with shipping expert from APL, Charlie Hermosa, on the line right now. Now, what about inbound to Guam? How are we doing? I mean, I forget where the numbers were, how many containers they were handling over at the port on a given basis. So, how's the throughput for Guam been in say the last quarter as compared to this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, the throughput through Guam has been very healthy. I mean, I've sent some pictures out to my friends from, driving and actually going to supermarkets on the East Coast, whether it's New York, whether it was in D.C. or Delaware. And let me say, the distributors here on island have done a great job to keep us, moving and having at least enough to have on the shelves. I mean, there were shelves and rows, Ray, in the supermarket that were completely empty, completely empty, right? So, here, we go into certain supermarkets, but, they may not have 10 cans, but they'll have 5, right? They'll not go down to 0. So I think that from a logistics standpoint, a lot of the companies have done a great job to either source from another region, South America, Asia, or, get them from New Zealand, whether it's, milk and cheese and all that. But, I think they've been, resilient in being able to, source the product so that we can have what we have on the island. So it's been healthy from us here.
Well, I'm glad. I'm obviously glad to hear that, because I'm one of those guys that if I've got it's not like I want everything in the store all at the same time. But when you go in to look for something and it's just not there, you do get that kind of, oh my God, desperate moment. But thankfully those are fewer and far further between now. 8:56 and change. Charlie, always a delight talking with you. I hope you get to see you and Bella soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Hugging a kiss to everybody. We'll get together again soon. 8:56 in the morning. Charlie Hermosa from APL. Ken LG, I appreciate you waiting. Might throw off a little bit of Fox News Live here and find out what's on your mind. What have I missed this morning?
Well, the first thing was I called in while Chanel was on the phone. Because I got contact traced last month, and I didn't want to spend 5 hours like I did the first time I got contact traced.
Yeah.
So I called a number of clinics to get a test, and they all told me it was $150. So I went back over to TGen and spent another 3 hours in line because I didn't want to pay $150.
Yeah.
So there's a big disconnect there. They keep going on about their partners, and and you can go there. Yeah, you can go there if you want to spend $150. I thought that they were getting paid. Why do I have to pay if they're getting paid to do it? There's a big disconnect there.
So did you ask somebody? Okay, so I try to know everything, but this kind of in my gray area because I haven't been tested, I haven't been vaccinated, and frankly, I don't really care to do either of those things. I'm not traveling, so I don't have to worry about getting on an airplane within 72 hours of this, that, or the other happening. But having said that, I do recall that there was a statement that was made by the governor's office at some point here in the COVID crisis that said you should not to expect to pay for those tests because they were supplied to the clinics by the government.
Well, then someone needs to let those clinics know, because last month, it was, I think, just before Thanksgiving. I drove up, I looked at the line at TGen, and I said, not for me this time. I learned my lesson. So I started calling around, and I called 3 clinics, and all 3 clinics told me, sure, come on in. No, wait, it's $150.
So when you said, but the governor, Lulian Guerrero, said this is supposed to be free, what did they say? Did they laugh aloud and then hang up, or?
No, I said I thought it was supposed to be free, and they said no, it's not. Unless you what did they put it? Unless you have tested positive and are trying to get a retest or something like that. I don't remember the specific words that
BS,
one of the clinics used.
BS sounds like BS to me, BS, BS.
Yeah.
Tell you, Real Joe, here's what we're going to do while the news is playing. It starts in about 40 seconds. Real Joe is going to call Chanel and find out where the free tests are among our quote partners, and see if I can share that information with you so you don't have to spend 3 hours in traffic over at TGen.
I think a lot of people would appreciate that public service.
You the man. You the man. Thanks for bringing it out. I'll
All
talk
right,
to you
I'll
pretty
talk
soon.
to you later.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And happy anniversary to you and Mrs. The Governor Leon Guerrero. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. The radio station's KUSG. I got you. Stand by. Fox News Live is coming up. We'll find out what the big deals are in the States. And from Jose Martinez, the best of your cooler dollar could be spent not on a Yeti. How about just a regular old igloo cooler? I'll share that in a sec.
Former President Trump issuing a statement saying Bob Dole was an American war hero and true patriot for our nation. The former Kansas senator died today after a battle with cancer. Dole fought and was injured in World War II, went on to politics to lead the Senate and run for president before accepting the Republican nomination in 1996.
I do not need the presidency to make or refresh my soul. That false hope I will gladly leave to others. For greatness lies not in what office you hold, but in how honest you are, in how you face adversity, and in your willingness to stand fast in hard places.
Dole was 98. The CDC says the Omicron COVID-19 variant has been confirmed in about 15 states and will likely spread. U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy tells Fox News Sunday there's more to learn.
To the question of whether the increased spread is being driven by greater transmissibility or whether it's being driven by a different sensitivity to our vaccine protections or protection from prior infection, the exact mix there of contributors is not known.
Health officials stress that full vaccination and a booster shot are the best protection against Omicron. A small bit of good news at the gas pump.
We have the first drop at the pump in 14 weeks. The new price, $3.46 per gallon for a regular grade. It's down 3 cents from 2 weeks ago.
Industry analyst Troby Lundberg says prices are still $1.24 per gallon higher than 1 year ago. She attributes the latest small decline partly to a crash in crude oil costs. The highest average price for regular grade gas is in the San Francisco Bay Area at $4.80 per gallon. The lowest is in Houston at $2.91 a gallon. America is listening to Fox News.
As we celebrate this holiday season, we reflect on the hardships of the past 2 years and remain grateful for the family and friends who share our journey and lighten our burdens. The team at Security Title is proud of the work we do to support ourselves and our families, to serve and care for our customers, and to give back to our community. May this season of joy and the new year bring happiness, good health, and prosperity to you and yours. Merry Christmas from all of us at Security Title.
Half a day, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apo.com.
A Massachusetts man wins $1 million from a lottery scratch-off gifted to him and a get-well card after undergoing heart surgery. Alex McLish was on Fox and Friends to talk about it.
I was amazed. I was appreciative that I got the card with the 2 scratch-offs, and then when I actually scratched it and knew it was a winner, I was, disbelief, shocked.
McLeish claimed his prize money last month, opting for the one-time payment of $650,000 before taxes. A recent survey reveals fewer Canadians are interested in the Commonwealth should Queen Elizabeth no longer reign.
An Angus Reid Institute poll shows 55% of Canadians supporting their country's place in the monarchy, but that only 34% agree if Prince Charles is the next in line. The future of Queen Elizabeth's nearly 70-year reign is being considered, as she's recently been plagued by health concerns and has canceled several high-profile events. When it comes to the future of Canada's relationship to the monarchy, 52% say they'd prefer to give up being part of this system, compared to 25% who feel the country should keep the head of the British royal family as Canada's official head of state. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The 3rd annual Fox tree lighting kicks off the holiday season from New York City tonight.
Abby Hornacek and Lawrence Jones host the 3rd annual All-American Tree Lighting. The hosts usher in the season with a fun-filled night of music and holiday advice, and trivia as they participate in the third annual event at Fox Square. The Christmas tree is 50 feet tall with 10,000 ornaments and 100,000 lights. The Fox Nation special will air at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Fox channel, and we'll also take a look at the new and original Christmas content coming this month. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
And I'm Joe Giro, Fox News.
Fall in love with your new home this season by shopping Furniture Kathy Style's unbelievable deals. We've brought in new items and restocked on our bestsellers to help you get your home ready for the holiday. We offer free design consultation and financing with up to 12 months of zero interest for you to get what you want and what you need for your home today. Follow us on social media, visit our website at FurnitureKathyStyle.com, or call us at 300-9590 for more information. If you're not buying from us, you're paying too much.
Here's an important message to federal employees and annuitants from Take Care. It's time to choose your health plan. Open season runs from November 8th through December 13th. Take Care offers an expanded network including GRMC, SDA, Dr. Shea, FHP Health Center, and over 1 million providers off-island. Now is a great time to learn more about Take Care's 2022 FEHB offering. Visit TakeCareAsia.com/open season 21 or call 671-647-3526. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Attention! Lolita Kamet is now with Hoffaday Realty. She'll always be that hardworking and passionate real estate professional who is committed to helping you make a difference in your life and helping you achieve the American dream of home ownership. She also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, military and corporate relocation. So for all your real estate needs, call Lolita Kamet now with Hoffaday Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
It's 6 after 9 o'clock in the morning. Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. And it just occurs to me, right? We're talking about this might be the most essential of devices for men. I'm not going to say that women don't need one of these things. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, if the girls got together, have you ever heard the girls getting together and saying, "Oh, baby, do you like my Yeti?" You have never heard that?
Never.
If
it's pink.
I don't know if they come in pink, but I'm just saying, you know, it's generally one of the things that's left to the men. Here's the point that I'm going to make here is whether it's a Yeti or just this cooler. It's an Igloo cooler that Jose Martinez from the afternoon show found apparently on Amazon. It's like $144. And I'm going, wait a second, 144. This sounds like a lot for an Igloo, but not a lot for a Yeti. But here's the deal. The thing will hold 137 cans of a beverage, of some kind of a beverage. And you know, any more these days with the changes in the dimensions, you know, you've got the Michelob Ultra, you've got the Heineken Light, and you've got seltzers. They've got different dimensions on those cans. Is it possible that it will hold more? And the question is, I'd like to find out. I want to do this for science. So give me one of those Igloos, and somebody give me a Yeti, and then I will compare and contrast, and then keep the winner. The one that keeps the beer colder longer.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do it for science. You know what? In the beginning of the pandemic, my friend Elaine sold me one of these Chinese hand thermometers that we probably scanned 3 people with since the start of the pandemic, right? So I'm just saying, maybe I'll take that thing and we'll test it out. But the important thing now is you see this color blue on the Igloo cooler on the Facebook Live. What you need to do is you take that and then you go to Nissan and say, I want a car that matches this. I'd like a Rogue Sport with enough room in the back for 2 Igloo coolers. I'd like the Leaf. I'd like, you know, all these other rides that they've got there over at Nissan, the Murano, the Kicks, Sentra, and the Leafs, etc. They've all got room in the back for your Igloo, your Coleman, your Yeti. So put it together. This would be the deal. I've been telling you about making a choice. 0% APR for the life of the loan, but you're going, yeah, but I could use some cash. How about if they take care of the first 3 payments, and whatever you'd give to the bank, you go and buy yourself one of those coolers with the Igloo and the Yeti and the whatever, and use the money that way. Your good credit could make it so you can sign and drive away today. No down payment required at NissanGuam.com.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
9 after 9, Ray Gibson Show. Real Joe, You went outside. You did not call Janella like you were supposed to, like I told Ken that you were going to do. So, while I'm talking with my cousin Troy, can you call Janella and find out which clinics people can go to for a free test? Because he's under the impression that there ought to be free tests at places besides Teason, because didn't the governor say so?
I will, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Just after 9 o'clock in the morning, Ray Gibson Show until around 10. And just the craziest things going on up in the CNMI. I don't know if you saw this on the Candid News, but it looks like the panel, special investigative panel that they have in the CNMI has finally subpoenaed Governor Ralph Torres. And then Governor Ralph Torres says, you know what? Lock it down. We've got too many COVID-19 cases, so we're locking everything down up in the CNMI. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, can I just say before this conversation goes any further is that I will never forgive you if you hang up this phone call so that you could take a phone call for Janella. I just want to say that.
No, absolutely, no, absolutely not. I would not do that. Primarily because I'm just maybe this is one of those times where the less is said is the better, and I'm not really good at controlling the crap that comes out of my mouth. But in this case, I think maybe I just stop here. If we get her on the line, I promise you I'll build insulation, if you will, between my cousin Troy and Chanel. It's 9:11 in the morning, but yeah, really interesting what's going on up in the CNMI. Now, arguably, yeah, they've got some cases of COVID-19. I thought they were had everything in hand with their contact tracing and their treatment of the individuals, but it looks more to me like Governor Ralph Torres is hiding in the pandemic, so he didn't have to go before my girlfriend Tina.
Yeah, talk about an abuse of authority. This sounds like something that Will Castro concocted and said, the great strategist he is, Governor, we can avoid this by just closing the government.
Yeah.
But nothing else. He didn't close anything else, not the schools, not the private sector, not the air, not the flights, nothing. Everything else is open except for executive branch offices, and not even, and even at that, the schools will be open, the Commonwealth Court Authority will be open. So this clearly is Ralph Torres avoiding the subpoena that he was, or trying to avoid the subpoena he was issued. But, the lame brains that he has working over the governor's office didn't realize that he doesn't have the power to close down the legislature because it's a separate branch of the government.
Separate branch of the government, right.
And so that might actually move forward. We're waiting for a statement from the JGO committee on what they're going to do. And that statement is slated to come out later today. One of the people who was opposed to this, aside from the Attorney General would not sign off on the order. The other person who would not sign off on the order is their equivalent of Lillian Perez Posadas, Dr. Esther Muñoz, who is the CEO of the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation, basically their hospital and their public health system, and the person who's largely been in charge of the COVID response over there. And one of the reasons she even tweeted this, one of the reasons she wouldn't sign off on it is because they haven't met the CDC threshold for making such a drastic move like that. So while their infection rate is high, their hospitalization rate is very low, and their vaccination rate is high. And so it just did not make sense to make a move like this.
So wait. So he comes out with the order. His own Attorney General and the health authorities there aren't supporting it.
They are not supporting it.
So an argument could be made among the people over at the legislature that there ought to be a way that they could wrestle away, as we have the conversation here, wrestle away the power of the governor then to continue a public health emergency if these are the steps that he's going to use in order to keep himself out of testifying.
I'm not sure how that. Remember, they're a bicameral legislature over there.
Yeah, no.
I'm not really sure how that works.
Or arguably, could whatever the process is going to be, they could come up with their own resolution or perhaps their own Bill 11, like Chris Duenas has got around here, and force the issue. Oh, you're gonna. This is what you're going to use your public health emergency powers for? Is to avoid coming to see us? Well, we'll just remove your public health authorities.
I'll ask them that. Very good question.
It's the way I do it. I'd take a look at that and say, okay, you're clearly abusing the powers and the authorities that are made available to you in a public health crisis for your own political whims. So we'll just stop it from here on out. 9:14 in the morning. That is going to be an interesting story over the next couple of days. Those of you that aren't paying attention to Saipan, it was always interesting, but now it's gotten very, very interesting. The opposite of boring is what's going on up there. Also, I think you and I are on the same page on this. I am absolutely disappointed that there is a lingering conversation and allegations that are going on between the Port Authority of Guam and their former general manager, now Senator Joanne Brown. I'm disappointed that the Republican Party saw fit to come out with a letter of support for Joanne Brown. That the timing is, I think, suspect. I think it's very ill-timed and ill-advised, and I would, if they'd have come to me asking for a vote, I would have said no. Now is not the time for this.
You know, the irony is that I almost made a fat joke, and I promised Jesus I wouldn't. The irony is gigantic.
It's not Jesus' birthday yet. You can do fat jokes. It's okay.
No, I promised Jesus I wouldn't. So and I've been tempted.
Oh, my God. You and Jess Allig are on an absolute tear today. Did you hear my conversation with Jess last hour?
No, I didn't.
No, it's okay, but I'll paraphrase it. I said, congratulations on getting all that money from the governor's office. He said, when? Apparently, there's some bola floating around between Antelope and some mayors, and Jess isn't buying it.
You know, I'm not surprised, and good for Mayor Allig for not buying it.
Yep.
We'll actually be hopping on that story today. We got so mired up in the crime stories last week that we weren't able to do many political stories. And among the ones that are waiting in our hopper is that story about that comes from Congressman Nicholas's news conference, where all that interesting stuff came out, and we even have a response from Adeloop on that.
Well, I saw the response from Adeloop, and I thought it was interesting that we're going to obvious what the intention was in the language, and we're going to bend over backwards to come up with as many different definitions of mayors and mayoral offices and unattached facilities or unincorporated whatevers that they're coming from to make it so that the governor can continue to control money that was clearly intended to be spent by the mayors. Now, I get it. The mayor here is different than, say, the mayor of New York. But if the intention was for closer to the constituent and on-the-ground responsibilities, then these are clearly the guys that would have gotten that money.
You know, I'm a little familiar with what might be happening at Adeloop, especially when you bring a case like this into focus. And what it sounds like is happening to me, because the government's top financial people normally it's just a natural thing for them to not want to tell people what they're doing, so they're just naturally not transparent. It might not be that they're doing anything wrong, it might be that they are, I don't know. And the other part of it, the other part of the nature of top financial people in the government is they like to hold on to money, and they don't like it when other people are in control of that money. And so when I read the statement from Adeloop, the first thing I'm thinking is the communications department didn't come up with this. This was not one of those spins that the communications department comes up with. Matter of fact, if the communications people were in charge of this message, it would have been markedly different. This sounds like financial people crafted this small statement. It may have been edited a little bit, and because the whole thing was just trying to trip everyone up in the jargon of financialese and Washingtonese. Yeah. So it would make us believe that, you know what I mean? And it's just a bunch of BS, I think. And they probably should trust Crystal Pacos and Augustine to do a whole lot more of their writing than the financial people over there, because it just comes off as insincere to the rest of the public.
It's the same language. It's the same kind of language that they use whenever something good happens out of Congressman St. Nicholas's offices, and they kind of ignore him, or if they are going to pat him on the hill, they'll refer to him as our representative in Washington D.C. Give the man the credit that he deserves for the work that he's doing on behalf of the people. So I'm interested in where this is all going to go. But let's go back, if you don't mind. Let's go back on the Rory versus Joanne thing over at the port, and because I know that you agree with me on this. I've got it from a second source that you were put out by the GOP's support of Joanne Brown. I mean, guilty, innocent, whatever, doesn't make any difference here. It's still too early. This still needs to go before the courts, if you ask me.
Well, they never said whether they think that Joanne Brown should pay back the money. At the heart of this whole thing is an independent audit and an AG opinion that says she needs to pay back that money. And unless they're saying that our institutions, all of our institutions are just full of it, including like pseudo-legal institutions, then the Republican Party is full of it. And it's ironic because because one of the officers of the party is the former governor, under whom a whole controversy about retroactive pay raises, illegal retroactive pay raises, was during whose administration Joanne Brown received these other illegal retroactive pay raises. And the Republican Party said nothing at that time. They didn't say, oh, you know what, Governor Eddie Caldwell did the right thing and he should fight this, and it's gonna prove that everything that he did was legal.
Oh my God! It was easily one of the biggest screw-ups of that administration, and another example of somebody over at the governor's office, you know who, that was trying to contort facts to make it sound like if we're going to pay this now 3 times, but we're going to take one of them back, and that's going to equal 0.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, wait a second. This guy is one of the smartest legal minds on Guam, and that's the best you could come up with? Is that screwed up math? For those of you that weren't paying attention, all right, so there were these illegal raises that went out to everybody, and then it was determined that they needed to get paid back. So what the governor's office did was they fronted everybody this money, and they said, okay, we gave you $300, I'm going to give you another check for $300, and then you write that back to me. You give me that money back. So 1 + 1 + 1 = 0.
So
that could not make any sense to anybody unless you were in the government, and in particular the government of Guam at that time. Interesting stuff here. 921. Wow, wouldn't that be great? Just a reprise, because I think there's a lot of people now that are of this buy-in sentiment that we're not crazy about the present crowd over at the legislature. So let's bring back some people from a couple of administrations ago. And my answer is no. Let them be retired. Let them go off and do other things. Go and ruin something in the private sector.
But that's just how snobby the Republican Party has become, where they placed everything on these so-called legacy candidates. And, don't get me wrong, some of them are good people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the quote-unquote legacy candidates are actually good workers and good people and all, and they're not snotty or whatever. But most of them, this whole impression that the party has that, oh, let's bring back this name because that's a good name and they have money, and that's all this comes down to. It's just a bunch of snobbery. And I remember a time when the Republican Party wasn't like that, where it wanted to field, not so rich, but maybe they were professionals. They wanted to field doctors to help with the healthcare policy issues, or businessmen, small businessmen, because they understood the lay of the land and they were connected to grassroots people, and at the same time knew a thing or two about tax policy. But that Republican Party is gone. It's been replaced by some other monsters.
It's by the clique of the cool kids. It's a clique of the cool kids, and I can tell you countless names of countless senatorial candidates who are not in the cool kid club, and they don't really stand a chance in getting elected. Among one of the reasons why I happily left that chat group. 9:23 in the morning, cuz it's always fun talking with you. So go lay into somebody before too much longer. All right.
Hey, I heard you're running for senator under the Republican Party, though.
No. I will not run under the guise of the Republican Party. I don't think that's in my plan. No, if anything, I would run under a third party. I would run under a third party. It would be called the Republican Party, and I would bring in a whole bunch of people that are independent-minded, aren't attached to any of the silly big names out there, and just want to get in there and figure out how to get this right, as opposed to dealing with actual issues here on Guam, as opposed to all the political nonsense and paper shuffling that they create over at the legislature.
So you are running? Ray Gibson is running for senator?
No. I'm being way. My consigliere told me this is not a good year because it just get mired up in the politics. And the other thing, Troy, is full disclosure. I'd hurt whatever party I run under. I've just got too much crap in my life.
Oh no! Don't you even worry about that.
What? Do you think that makes me more attractive? I want to get that shirt. I want to get the shirt. I'll clean up the language, but there's a shirt that I saw a lady friend of mine wearing that basically said "blank what you heard," right? And I'm going, yes, that's the shirt. That would be, it's Ray Gibson, Senator, and blank what you heard.
Mine would be believe what you heard.
It's probably true, and that's why I would like you to run with me under the Republican Party. Dude, we'll go in there. We'll clean house. The only thing is, Cousin Troy, the last time we had this serious conversation like this, Cousin Troy actually picked out a couple of names of some lady candidates, and I'm like, dude, if we're elected, I'll never get anything done. I'll be like handing you messages. Troy, ask her if she likes me. After she likes me, see if we can get ask her. Let's get coffee.
Candid is really growing, and this week we were supposed to, Johnny and Zach and our team were actually supposed to be on a plane this morning at 9 o'clock. And last night we had to cancel the trip because of the government shutdown, but we were supposed to go there for 1 week to set up Candid Commonwealth. We're growing and we're excited about that. And speaking of pretty girls, maybe the future for us, Ray, Cousin Ray, you and I is to be helping out Governor Tina Sablon over in the CNMI from Guam. I don't know.
What time? Call me.
What time?
Go, yeah, call me anytime, bro. Remember, though, I take my nap at noon.
Got it.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you pretty soon. It was my cousin Troy from Canada. Congratulations on the growth. I got a couple of pictures. I think I got a couple of pictures that I can put up online right now. Earlier today, here's that cooler. 137 cans of beer. 137 cans. That's why you got to have good ice. That's why it's got to be able to keep it cold. 137 beers. So me and my buddy Mark were having a conversation. He says, I can get drunk off one beer, but I'm not sure if it's the 12th or the 13th beer that makes me drunk. But anyway, so wait. There's the pictures. So picture up on the screen right now, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. That's the mayor of Inarahan, si Tony.
Yeah.
Ton. We call him Ton. But like if you really know him, you don't even say his name, just because it's Ton. And then there's a picture of former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez. The lady in the middle is a lady that had gone down to the Inalahan pools over the weekend and left with and forgot her purse or lost her purse or whatever. At any rate, so somebody from his team, from Antonio's team, found it, looks inside, right? There's a phone, there's IDs, and there's money. There's a couple of $1,000s. Now, these are hard times, and folks, could have gone any one of a couple of different ways. I mean, this is one of those moral compass moments where this is it, man. I'm going to take that money and run, or I'm going to take that money and run to the rightful owner. And it's Christmas. It's the holidays. People want to do the right thing.
Aww.
And so the guy, one of Tony's team guys, got with Tony. They looked everything up, found the woman's family over at that's PIC, right?
Yeah.
And that is a photograph of them, handing the money over. Here you go. Thank you for coming to Guam. And I've made that a point here. There's any number of Korean hot pants, Korean bikinis, men and women from Korea that are covered head to toe at the beach. You've seen it. I mean, they've got, They look like ninjas, except they're wet.
UV ray.
Yeah. Anyway, but when they get close enough for me to say something, I will generally say in loud and in English, "Thank you for coming to Guam. I appreciate the fact that you are here, and I hope you have a good time. I hope you make many memories, and I hope that you make reservations to come back to Guam." I think that what happened there over at the hotel, what happened there down in Alahan, will underscore something that I've said about the hospitality industry for years. And we can go all the high tech you want, QR codes and glass elevators and all of this other stuff, but it still comes down to how we welcome and treat these people when they're here for just a limited amount of time. And you know how it is because you travel, right? You know how it is with you. You go, "Oh, yeah, it was great. How was? Oh, my God, it was fantastic, except for. Right? It's so easy to tell the bad stories. These guys are going home, and they've got some great stories to tell about Guam. It's high touch. It is high touch. The idea that this family from South Korea had an opportunity to meet never mind just the mayor of Inaran. They met former Governor Gutierrez.
That's huge.
And he'll never forget their names. If you know Carl Gutierrez, then you know they are now enshrined in the Book of Carl. And at some point, he'd probably make contact with them again and invite them back to Guam. And you never know what the connections are going to be. Wouldn't it be great if one of these guys was like, "Oh, yeah, what are you doing in South Korea? Oh, I put together, I ironed the clothes for a rock band called BTS." Wouldn't it be something cool like that, right?
Yeah.
Right? What do you do? I don't know. Work with the president or something like that. And that's, you make a connection. And nobody's better than that than my Uncle Carl. It's 9:30 in the morning. Ray Gibson Show. I wanted to share something else with you that I want to say Ken sent it to me. I might be wrong. Probably not. No, it was Ken that sent me this story. And while I'm in that almost preachy mode, you ever notice that I get to that where I talk about what a bad guy I am with my cousin? I always feel like I got to make the pendulum of morality swing in the other direction. One of my least favorite things is when I'm out with somebody and they treat waiters and waitresses like crap. I just want to leave. I just want to get up and I'll be right back and never come back. Because I don't know, I've never been in that end of hospitality. I've never worked as a waiter or waitress. Well, obviously, I've never worked as a waitress, but bartender or anything like that. Closest thing I've ever done to that is, and again, it's a Carl Gutierrez story. Is every once in a while I'll go behind the bar that Uncle Carl's got in his front yard and then get stuck there handing guys drinks. Right, yeah. That's the closest thing I've ever gone. But it's mostly it's a very positive experience. And for the most part, I like to think that we're pretty good around here, the waiters and waitresses. This story about a guy that worked at a Taco Bell for 2 decades, and he finally quit. He says, something has changed. Customers have gotten unreasonable and very hard to deal with. I know, right?
20 years, man.
Yeah, working in fast food, period, and 20 years, and he's not manager or anything like that, just a guy that has the job, says... Oh, he is a manager. Taco Bell manager is leaving after 20 years for a non-food service job. He says customers have gotten more demanding and abusive since the beginning of the pandemic. So workers are also burned out and pushed to their limits. Clearly not a big money business for a lot of people, with the paper hats and the logoed shirts. The worker, whose employment was confirmed by Insider magazine, Business Insider, who has to remain anonymous for fears of impacting future employment, has been in the fast food industry for years. 6 years at McDonald's and then 2 decades at Taco Bell. Fast food is pretty much the only thing I've ever known. If customers hadn't become so unreasonable and angry, I probably would have just kept doing that. But I loved my job until COVID hit. He says that things have gotten especially bad since COVID. Customers have become more critical and angry towards workers in the service industry. And suddenly people think it's perfectly okay to be intolerant, demand things, and just be unreasonable to the point where his work is almost untenable. All right. We've all had the experience of drive-through And despite the attempts that they make to make this as smooth and as perfect for the customers, I got to admit there are times where I start breathing through my nose. I'll tell you one. This is the easy one, and it seems to be happening with more with more regularity. Where you go through the drive-through and you complicate a sandwich. By complications, oh, can I get that without onions? Can I get extra pickles? Can I, whatever, extra sauce? And, then the answer is, yes, please park it. Like, oh, you're messing with our system now. You're going to get punished. So go park the car over there. And you go, and then I don't want to eat anything anymore for 2 days. But that kind of thing happens. But generally, when the guy shows up with my bag, with my sandwich that's got extra pickles and no onions, generally I become a happy camper again and I move on. I very rarely ever say anything under my breath because it's not the guy's fault, right? But apparently, since COVID happened, there's a lot more people that have become intolerant of things like that. I was at a drive-thru the other day and put together the order, and they got two things wrong, and I was miffed. But it's not like and I could have, because I'm me. I could have picked up the phone and called the manager of the business. But my preference is, and maybe if there's a takeaway from any of this, is that remember what I said last week about kindness. Just be kind. You have no idea what somebody's going through, and they might have a smile on their face, might be just look normal and average to you, but deep down inside, they can't afford bullets. And deep down inside, maybe their sock is coming off in their shoe. And deep down inside, maybe they're dealing with something that you have no concept of and don't know how you would deal with it with yourself. So, cut everybody a piece of slack. And if you feel like calling up a manager, then you call up a manager and say, hey, I went to the drive-thru today, and I got to tell you, that guy that works behind the counter, solid guy, just cheerful, made me happy that I chose your business today. And so do me a favor. At some point today, this week, whatever, go out of your way. Find somebody that's giving you good service. Let them know that they're giving you good service. And maybe if you got a business card of the guy that runs the place, call him. Because I'm sure, because we all got problems in management, maybe supply, prices, customers, whatever. Call up a manager today and say, I went by your restaurant. I'll tell you what it was. The other day, I went. It was KFC. KFC, right? Got my two-piece meal, get my sandwich, and just the most unbelievable. The lady behind at the drive-thru, it was like she was the happiest person to be at work today, and that made my KFC taste that much better. And so let me see, Frank, if you're listening, and I know you are, kudos to the Barragata shop because they always do an outstanding job for KFC. Find somebody like that. Find somebody that's done you a good job and let them know you appreciate it. It's 9:37 in the morning. There's another concept out there that is beginning to another one of these offshoots of COVID, and it's called cash hoarding. We'll tell you about it next.
When's the last time you looked at your homeowner's insurance?
We buy a homeowner's policy and never give it another thought until something happens. Life brings changes, and our coverage needs can change. The smart thing to do is get the answers and level up our insurance to make sure we're totally protected.
That's the Insurance Extra Point. Get out there and make something good happen today by calling Guahan Insurance Services at 475-1162 or visit us at the Camacho Landmark Center in Tamuning.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that upcoming Christmas vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,600 by calling Family Finance at their new Hagåtña location, the old Nanbo Insurance Building at 475-4545, Upper Tumon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance serving the people of Guam since 1959.
What happened again? 9:38 and an opportunity for me to tell you about Chili's. So I was lurking in social media, and a couple of my favorite people, Hannah and Vanessa, were having lunch together, and they were doing selfies, right, and that kind of thing. And all I could think of was how jealous I was of them because they were eating at Chili's. That's where I don't know. There's something about a backdrop or something like that. They're eating at Chili's, having a good time with each other, taking pictures, and all of a sudden I'm jealous and thinking, now the last time that I was there with one of them was ribs. I was doing ribs with one of the girls, and it was a delightful experience, and I'd like to have it again. But these days, they're making it easier for me to be able to take it to go. If you go to Chili's, and maybe Hannah and Vanessa are still there, go over there and, number one, hang out with them, and number two, order something to go. 10% off on your to-go orders until the end of the year. So try that today where life happens there. It's Chili's. What is this crap? What is this? What are you having your period?
It's festive, right? It's a holiday season, so, you know.
It's a happy holiday season. Can we make it a happy holiday season? Do we not have sad Christmas?
Play that again.
I'm going to sit around at a Christmas tree and think about my dead parents or something like that. Oh, my God, I hear this music. It makes me wish my mom and dad were here for Christmas because I want a G.I. Joe. Wait. I want a combination, slip and slide, and what's the one with the colors? Where you put your hands on the different colors?
The spin, yeah, the color game.
Yeah. Doesn't it sound like fun?
What is it, man? Twister,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Combination Twister.
Sorry.
And, yeah. Just saying.
Slip and slide.
Slip and slide and Twister. That's the way to do that. 20 away from 10 o'clock in the morning. Cash hoarding is what I'm talking about. Janela on one?
No, it's Tony Diaz, sir.
Oh!
Yeah.
He's late.
No, he
said he was supposed to call, 8:45, right?
Yeah, he was commuting.
Oh.
He didn't want to, call
and
and
drive. Tony Diaz from the Archdiocese on the telephone line, and for me and all of the other Catholic faithful here on Guam, how am I going to observe the Feast of the Immaculate Conception here?
Well, thanks, Ray, for inviting me.
Dude, you can come in anytime. I want you to know that. A lot of times I'm sure you're like, what are Ray and I going to talk about? Or he's going to make a joke about the crucifix with the Jesus with the red eyes, and yeah, that might come up again. But it gets to be December, and there's I don't think one of us here on Guam, especially you and I, a similar age group, that don't have incredibly fond memories of the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, walking around in our Cathedral Great School or St. Anthony uniform around Agana and holding our hands in prayer.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of cathedral, I've been remiss. I haven't gotten you the recipe yet for the Sister Roberta pizza.
Oh, my God. Are you working on it, though? Come on. All the nuns are dying. Come on. Somebody's got it written down. I know it's a terrible thing to say, but it's so true. We're not replacing the mercy nuns as fast as we used to.
I will ask the sisters. By the way, they're celebrating their 75th year jubilee that's going to stretch all year round in a quiet, simplified way, but nonetheless, they're celebrating it, the Sisters of Mercy.
Well, the family has got some skin in that game. Sister Mary Inez was among the first of the Mercy nuns to come out of Belmont in North Carolina with a couple of other nuns, put together the academy and laid a foundation for the Mercy nuns here on Guam, and that's something that the family has always been proud of.
Yeah, certainly. She's among who we think of when we think of the pioneers, one of three, but also the local girl.
Underwood Martinez, and then there's the other Martinezes, my beloved Sister Mary Pierre and Sister Mark.
That's right.
And Sister Mark she was always tough on me, but she always looked out for me because I was always one of the small ones. But man, oh my God! See, now I close my eyes now, and I'm in my grandfather's living room around Christmas when all of the Martinez would come over to the house, and there would be nuns and priests all over the place, and then the liquor would flow. I'm sorry. All right, so December 8th, we're going to have kind of a muted observation, not a procession as has been the case since time immemorial.
It'll be for the second year in a row on December 8th, right? And that's because of the pandemic and just our precautions taken. So, but we want to remind people that a lot of people tend to think of these commemoration as only on that day, December 8th, which is a holy day of obligation. But the novenas and nightly masses have always been part of the tradition, and they started last Tuesday, November 30th. It is 5 p.m. at the Cathedral Basilica.
Okay.
And Monsignor James and his crew always do a great job, because that's massive, organizing all the different things and events and masses and liturgies. But on the feast of the Santa Maria in Camelin, which is also the solemnity of the Immaculate Conception on December 8th, there won't be the Island Wide Procession, but as they said, Mother Mary instead will come to the people. And the festal masses will still be celebrated inside the Cathedral Basilica, starting with a 6 a.m. Mass, and then at 7:30. At 9:30, Archbishop Burns celebrates the Mass, 9:30 a.m., and then later on in the evening, there's 6 o'clock. But at let's say 7:10 a.m., Monsignor James and his team will take the historic statue of Santa Maria in Camelin, and they'll hit the road. And there's at least 40 to 50 destinations that they'll be passing through. We want to, and the schedule is at the Agani Cathedral website. We've also sent it to our Facebook sites on the Umatuna and Archdiocese. I have it on the Archdiocese website, archagana.org. One of the things that Monsignor James wants to stress again is this is not a motorcade. This is not, we ask people to please, you have a lot of passion, but please do not follow the main vehicle, because that just creates congestion and it just would impact others who are not part of the commemoration. We have to have consideration for the rest of the island.
Is there police escort, or we're talking about Mother Mary? Maybe she didn't need it. The lights will already be green,
I think there
right?
might be, there usually is police escort, and that's just to help with the traffic, to make sure people don't come running toward it during dangerous times where it's on the main road.
Mana was talking, and she's hoping that maybe the statue will drive down her particular street. What is it that the faithful should do? I mean, I recall pictures from last year where there were people at the intersections and on sidewalks that were there in reverence, waving not envelopes, but raising their handkerchiefs and things like that.
Handkerchiefs, just waving. A number of people on their own collect flower petals and throw it at the vehicle, but please don't come up to the vehicle and touch it, because again, she is encased in plexiglass, but it's just dangerous if people start coming up to the vehicle. And by all means,
for a lot of people, this is a rare occurrence. We don't take her out of the church very often, and in fact, it's just the one time of the year, and it's very rare that she's not in her place in the church. I forget the name of the niche that she is in, but it's very rare that she's taken out of there at all. So for many people, that might be as up close and personal as they can get to the Blessed Mother.
Yeah. That's true, but still, we don't want them to be coming up, touching especially when the vehicle is moving. Right? You'll be able to get real close, because when it moves slowly past the neighborhoods and the parishes, it's there. And Mother Mary, the historic statue, is there within several feet. People sing, and there's a really nice thing to be hearing, the tomorrow hymns to Mother Mary. The traditional. It's really moving.
You said this is going to be about 7. It'll start about 7:30 in the morning.
7:10 it will be the Cathedral Basilica, and so already, again, in a parish, there are parishioners and others who gather there to send off Mother Mary, and then there are those who wait or come back and welcome her back. She'll come back at the cathedral close to 6 p.m. You can imagine
and then we'll all go over Carabao and have a couple of rounds after all of that is said and done. Now, I was talking with my daughter, and she's growing up in these modern COVID times, student at the Academy of Our Lady of Guam, and so there is no procession for her. But will there be anything that takes place for which sister will gather names of the present and the not present? I'm I'm remembering that that there were sisters when I was at Cathedral grade school, etc., that they showed up. If I didn't show up, then I got it. It's like a mark against my attendance. Will there be something similar happening for the Archdiocese schools?
I think it's in individual schools, really. They will decide. I don't believe that it's going to be quite the same as the procession.
Nah.
But of course, they're encouraging their students. It's not a school day. A number of their students will be with their families at their homes because.
See, that's what we used to tell my folks. It's not a school day, but we still had to get dressed in our uniform, go hang out with our classmates and sister over at the cathedral and walk around again. I might sound like I'm complaining about the experience, but I really am not. It truly was a tremendous experience growing up a Catholic on Guam. 9:49 in the morning. Ton, if there's anything that we can do to help, we're going to be working that morning. So if you want to do a call in or something like that, let us know. Give me the traffic report for our Blessed Mother. That'd be cool, all right?
Yeah, I'll try my best. I'm going to be going so many places, but I'll try, yes.
All right. Well, give the Archbishop my best. I'll see you soon.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ray.
No problem. No problem. I appreciate it. A lot of other nonsense that's going on. A lot of other reasons to talk about the church, but whatever. It's December. It's Advent, as somebody is pointing out on the YouTube side, and always a way that we can usher in that period. And you've heard me wax about this before. This is, no kidding, favorite time of the year. Always has been. Little kid, Mattel toys all over the place. G.I. Joe's. The house smells like Christmas tree, and there's food. And there's just the family opportunities to get together have been, and were just outrageous. And I don't know. It seems to me maybe some of that has gone away, not as much of a priority as it was in years past. And I'm not saying, get-togethers and stuff like that. Obviously, we do that kind of thing. But there was something magical about Christmas on Guam in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And I don't know when we shifted away from all of that stuff. But wouldn't it be cool to go back in time, capture some of that holiday magic? It's a miracle. I know it. I know I am in such a good mood today.
Why?
You know what I watched over the weekend?
Oh, boy.
The colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life.
Ah, Jimmy Stewart.
Yes. Donna Reed.
Yeah.
Donna Reed. That's the one. She'll answer all your questions.
Colored version.
Yes. Had you never? Well, I mean,
No.
it's black and white. That's as far as I know, it's the only version that they have on Amazon Prime, which is what I watched it on. And at first, I was a little bit disappointed because I kind of like the black and white version of it, but they did a decent job with the colorization of it. And I think it brings something. There's a guy on Facebook, Hoban. Is his name, and he does a couple of things that are super interesting. One of them is he lurks in the cemeteries and will clean the gravestones of because look, the people that have been dead for 100 years and their families moved off island and nobody's going to the graves and keeping them up. So that's what this guy does. And number one, I think it's a fantastic thing that he does, and I certainly applaud him for it. But the other thing that he does, which I also think is fantastic, is he finds all these old black and white pictures of Guam or Rota or someplace, Luta, as he says in his things, and then he colorizes them. And there is something about the whatever the process is he's using. I don't know what software is. Probably something as simple as a filter on Instagram or something, right? But he gets these things and they're colorized, and there's something about the way that he brings back to life with the colorization. Not a whole lot, not too much, not overbearing, but just enough. Bringing these people that have literally been dead for hundreds of years, maybe bringing them back to life. And I swear I love that technology. And whoever you are, we've chatted briefly. He's actually got a picture of my family, the Underwood clan, including Sister Mary Inez, from had to be about January or February of 1945, because my great-grandfather was back from Kobe, Japan, where he was incarcerated during the war, interred during the war. At any rate, so he found an old black and white picture. I think he got it from my Auntie Annie Berdalio and colorized it. And it is amazing. It is amazing to see people like my grandfather, my grandmother, in their 30s in color, because I'd never seen anything like that before. Anyway, 9:53 in the morning. I'm just going on and on and on. Should I take a break?
You should.
I haven't gotten to talk about the cash hoarding.
You can do that when you come back.
Good idea. Be right back then.
Howdy, Chili's is serving y'all some Texas-sized family meal, because everything's bigger in Texas. Enjoy full racks of Chili's world-famous baby back ribs, margarita chicken, savory shrimp, beef fajita, smoked jalapeno sausages, mashed potatoes, and corn on the cob. Man, this meal's bigger than Bill's, but it ain't breaking the bank. Chili's has Texas-sized family meals for just $45 to feed your crew of 3 to 6 folks. For your youngins, just add $5 for a kid's meal. Chili's, more life and bigger meals happen here.
The holidays are here, and you know what that means. Time to gather with family and friends, dress up our homes, and explore Christmas season in paradise. Why not share these moments for a chance to win $100 in cash? Log on to visitguam.com/Instagram today to participate in the Guam Visitors Bureau #Instagram photo and video contest. A winner will be chosen every week, so share your best holiday moments now and win. Brought to you by GVB, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Hafaday, Konnichiwa,
Patois, Ciao. Enter for a chance to win the 76 Circle K World Cuisine Giveaway. Be one of 3 lucky winners to win a passport of free food from around the world at over 15 different local restaurants. Just stop by any 76 Circle K, purchase $35 or more in fuel to get an entry form. Drive by today and taste the world with 76 Circle K's World Cuisine Giveaway. Visit 76CircleKGuam.com for more details. Some conditions apply. Circle K, take it easy.
Yeah, we're on 9:55. Last opportunities for me to, impress you. I thought we were pretty good this morning. All things considered, it's a Monday, a big weekend, goofing off and partying and laying out in the sun, which will take something out of you. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to just sit and lay and absorb all of the rays from God's beautiful sun. But I did it. I did it so you don't have to. Yeah. And I like the way a little bit of the color I got over the weekend, and the shirt is making my tan pop, which is nice. Booney Dog Chamorro on the YouTube side says colorization. Yeah, that explains Ray's shirt. But he said earlier than that we were talking about Sister Roberta from over at the. My God, what a great memory that is. Some of you had the opportunity to be in her cafeteria.
Sweet lady.
At the cathedral grade school. And I'm old enough to remember the old cafeteria, the one that burned. And then they rebuilt it, right? And it was something about that, the old cafeteria. It always smelled like spoiled milk. Did you remember that? It was like an area there. It's like there's always somebody
threw up, right?
It smelled like mucha. 9:56. All right, cash hoarding is a thing. And you might be wondering, what? Huh? Americans are refusing to spend about $1.6 trillion in COVID-inflated, quote, excess savings, and their new fears about Omicron are not helping. Even after accounting for rising prices, the typical American family has more money in their pockets than they did last year. The big picture, we see a lot of folks sitting on an incredibly high amount of savings, and it really is just the fear factor that people aren't spending money because they think that there's even though we're done with Delta, and then all of a sudden here comes Omicron, and who knows what's going to be coming up after that. And so there's people going, yeah, if I got a couple extra bucks, then I'm going to sit on that. I know how I am with money, and I'm pretty sure that I have done a lousy job of socking anything away in the last couple of years. I mean, I've never done a great job at it, but with COVID, I feel like I have more money in accounts these days. Not a whole heck of a lot of money, but I'll give it to you like this: every once in a while, you ever check your bank account and go, "Really, I've got that much money?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
That's rare.
What is it? Hey, what is it? But think about it. We're not eating out as much as we used to. We're not going to the movies in the same kind of numbers that we used to. We're not even driving as much as we used to. I mean, the price of gasoline. You still got to go to the gas station. I try to make that tank last as long as I possibly can. As somebody says something like, "Hey, let's go someplace," I'm like, "You're driving." Because, there was a hike. I was going to go hiking with some friends last week, and it was in Inarahan. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Dude,
carpool.
Yeah. Dude, let's go.
You're so cheap for it.
I know. Let's go to the falls, man. We can walk to Nimitz from here, for heaven's sakes. What do we have to drive all the way down to Inarahan? And then say, but we'll go to McCrouch afterwards. Tempting. Lead me not into temptation. So that's the deal, guys, is as much as possible, try to get some of that spend going. As I said, I'm wearing a large medium or a small large, if that makes any kind of sense to you. I've got a nice cooler for carrying my drinks and ice, etc., to the beach, but it doesn't have the letters YETI on it. So I'm just saying, if you're sitting on some dough, and if you're looking for ways to stimulate the economy, you can stimulate the economy. Oh, and stimulate me while we're at it. Celebrity birthdays, while I've got a minute. It is Andrew Cuomo's birthday. Nobody cares.
Oh.
Nobody's 64 years old. In jail, and one of my favorite actresses. I've always liked her, and I think the probably best known for the role that she played as the mom in Poltergeist. Jo Beth Williams is 73 years old. 73 years old. The lady, the mom from Poltergeist.
She was hot back
then. Not the little lady that said, "This house is clean."
No, not her.
No, the mom of the
blonde,
Poltergeist.
yeah.
She was hot.
Yes.
Oh, my God. And you get that little shock of gray after when they got the kid back. Wait a second, they just moved the headstones, but they left the graves right there where they were. Never mind, It's a Wonderful Life. I think I'm going to watch that today when I get home. I got to go, because it's Monday at 9:45. Legislature's in session. Hide your wallet. We'll be back on the radio talking about what they talked about at the legislature tomorrow morning about 6 o'clock. For Real Joe, Montecillo Tyron, and Jerry Roberts, this is Ray Gibson saying thanks for listening. Here comes the Fox News on the point.
Among the greatest of the greatest generation. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. That's how President Biden, in a statement, described former Kansas Senator Bob Dole, who died earlier today at the age of 98. Dole ran for president and accepted the Republican